else matters. Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, spread our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters.
I'm pretty sure that's what Joe Biden was saying when
Trust I see,
he got in the automobile
going home. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view. And nothing else matters. Never care for what they do. Never care for what they know. But I know. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from heart. Forever I trust in who we are, and nothing else matters.
Oh no!
We lost Joe.
Looks like it's just me and you tonight, man.
Sounds like I can handle it. Can you, dear?
Hey, I don't think people are ready to get in the type of topics I like to talk about.
No. Well, I can just imagine what they are, and I'll listen to you.
I don't know.
Did you watch? Oh, I heard it all.
Did you ever? Did I watch what?
Did you watch the debate last night?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Oh, see, I just don't fall in line with what everyone else is told to do.
And
how people are
expected to
be.
Oh,
I am the farthest thing from part of this society that anyone can get, except for like.
Would I walk into like the sheep brigade or something? What the hell is going on here? What the hell? There are sheeples and there are peoples.
I don't know what I am.
Are you?
I am not.
She's a wolf.
I wouldn't even know what to say about the whole thing.
You could be a grizzly bear. That could be different.
I guess.
You could be a skinwalker.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to News on the Flipside. We're live. That opening song was, of course, for Uncle Joe Biden, because really at this point, I don't think anything else matters for his career. Personally, we can always see where it goes. I know just before the debate, he got hit with 3 really bad polls. I know right after the debate, he got hit with another one. And then from what I hear, several other ones have come out. Anytime you have CNN and MSNBC and ABC, it's pretty much every Democrat on the planet going, can we change him out? Well, no. The only way you can change him out is he has to step down. Maybe he'll step down and say, let Leah run, but you have to step down. He's president of the United States. And the problem is he's already won the Democratic delegates. So in order for him to go somewhere else, he has to step down and say, okay, I can see that I'm not going to run for president. Let Gavin Newsom be president. Yeah, that's like killing people like Gavin up there. But that's the only way it can happen. And then we got to remember, it's not going to happen overnight. And then if anybody contests this, because other Democrats can decide to throw their thing in here. I mean, Kamala Harris might want it. And I think at the Democratic convention, Kamala would win. I don't know. I don't think she'd win presidency, but I don't think Gavin Newsom would win presidency either. I think Gavin would be just playing.
Why not, Joe? Why not?
Because he sucks. One, he came and debated Sanchez twice and got his butt kicked. 68% of the viewers said that not only did he lose it, that he lost badly. And that's the Florida governor. That's not even Trump. Trump will slap him all over with some of the stupid decisions that California's made in the last decade, plus highest tax, one of the highest crime rates. Newsom just doesn't have really anything to step on other than he's governor of California, which is basically a failing state with 2 million people leaving every year. So he's in a precarious situation. He's really good looking though, and he's pretty well spoken. And that should get him.
Honestly, he's got all this. I don't want to.
Go ahead, it's free speech.
Go ahead, talk. Leah.
Okay. So I've been told he's the quintessential aesthetically handsome supervillain looking guy.
He could be. Yeah.
But I don't know. Musk. I have to tell you something. Like, I'm about to tell the whole world, I guess. But I was at Hippie Hill at what is it called? At the park that all the hippies go to in San Francisco. I should know the name. But I swear, he walked up to the group I was standing in, and I didn't know who he was at the time. He was dressed in like khaki slacks and like a blazer, and he was just standing there talking to us, just chit-chatting it up. And everyone around me was smoking weed at the time, and he did not blink an eye. He didn't smoke it, but he didn't seem bothered by it at all. And he was just trying to communicate with the locals, it seemed. I swear, it's a true story.
Somebody was smoking that good weed, man. I want some of that shit. Y'all need to be sharing.
You know what? You know what? You can actually put him side by side with Trudeau, and they're like clones.
Right. No, Trudeau has that supervillain look too.
Yes, he does. Because Trudeau is a supervillain communist bastard.
Well, I don't think Gavin Newsom really is. I think he was just born into that family. You know, he's what is he? The nephew of Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I don't know what he is actually. We'd have to research
he is.
It's it looks like Leah's becoming like a winged creature there for a minute, man.
Yeah,
we better keep an eye on her there, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like possessed by the demonics.
I know. We'll have to y'all seen that, huh, ladies and gentlemen? We'll have to keep an eye on her. Well, see, for Newsom,
terrified of this world. If you guys keep waiting me to.
Well, don't worry about it. You'll have to see it when you see the video. So Newsom came out on Biden's side today, swinging, saying no, Biden's the guy for president. Nobody can beat Biden in a debate. So, I mean, not in a debate, but so right now, if you look at everybody's ratings, you know, Biden's, Biden's, the VPs, Kamala's, Newsom's, and a couple other people they named, they're far beyond where Biden is. And I think a lot of people would just get disgusted. You're breaking
up so bad.
Where you at? We lost it. But anyway, I think where Biden is at the moment, it's going to be notorious. Sorry, it's going to be notorious. Damn, I'm getting wrapped up in cables somehow. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I got all hung up in cables here. It's we're just going to have an issue right now with all the different candidates that would want to be president but couldn't be president. So if they got in a big argument about who's going to get the delegates, that could last for months, and there's only 4 months to go. And you don't even know how long it would take to talk Biden into stepping down. Could be a week. It could be never. I really think Biden is going to give him the effing bird finger when they ask him to step down. I think he thinks he can beat Trump. I think he does. And if he don't do good in this debate, I guess the next one there's one 2 weeks before the election. I don't think Trump should do it. I should think Trump should say, okay, we're done. Why should I have to go listen to Meeble Mouth for 2 hours when I got other things I could be doing?
I don't know. I think he should just say, well, I tell you what, I was proud of him yesterday, the way he handled himself during that debate. I really did.
He behaved himself. He wasn't being an idiot.
No. He played it smart, Joe. Think about it, right? He said, okay, let's listen to Joe Biden talk, is what he did, you know, and it could show the world what Joe Biden's all about.
Oh, yeah. Well, when he said stuff like, well, I don't even understand that last sentence at all. I don't even think he did. And things like that slapped him pretty hard. There was a couple of moments where Trump got in some good shots. But the thing about it is this hurt him on the Democrat side. These are Democrats now probably won't vote for him because they know what they're getting. So they'll probably just sustain. They won't vote for Trump, but they won't vote vote for him. So, probably he's going to end up with about 36% of the party voting for him. I don't even know how he's going to get out of this.
Could this possibly be the year that a third party candidate wins the election?
Not a shot.
No, not at all.
Not a shot.
Not at all.
As good as Kennedy is, Trump will annihilate him. I mean, absolutely annihilate him.
Yep.
Unless now, of course.
Then why even have third-party candidates at all? If it's like
because
never
you never know.
No,
there is a possibility.
There's actually there's 4 parties going on in this election.
Yeah, and there's a shot for Kennedy. Yeah. You never know what the country might just get discussing. I mean, Trump might end up in jail, and we got Sloppy Joe and Trump in jail, so Kennedy might win then. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen if anybody was stupid enough to put Trump in jail. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think the country's going to is going to go for that. What do you mean, Jimmy? I'm not going to do anything if they put him in jail. I'm just going to get on the news and report it.
Yep.
Well, no, it's not my
Does
my
he have
problem.
a sentencing trial coming up?
On the 11th, 2 days before the Republican convention. So they could put him in jail, and the Republicans could name someone else to be president. They could give their delegates, because he hasn't got the delegates yet. It's not like Joe Biden, who's already got the delegates. They could just say, well, you know what? We're not going to give him to Trump. We're going to give him to Ron DeSantis from Florida.
You know that ain't going to happen, brother.
And then we would see what would happen. Well, no, I mean, if Trump's in jail, what are they going to do with him? How's he going to run? He's just going to be sitting in there. He can't even do any speech. He won't even be able to take his acceptance speech.
I don't know, man.
Until they hand him the keys and he walks out of jail. I wouldn't want to be on his bad side if he wins this election. That's all I'm telling you. It's his last 4 years coming up. If he wins, he's tired. There's been a lot of people did some shitty dicky things to him.
Dude,
and I think
who are you talking about?
Uncle Trump.
Oh.
I think he's going to looking for revenge.
Like, could one of his sons just jump in and be like, hey, I'll be the president?
No, you know who will be president? He won't be for a while. Is Barron Trump. He will be president of the United States. I'm predicting it today, people. Donald Trump's son, Barron, will be president of the United States, probably within 25 or 30 years.
I agree.
He'll probably be one of the residents' presidents, yeah. He's very well educated. He's very well spoken. He's a good-looking guy. He's not crazy like his daddy. I think he'll be president of the United States. They already offered him. The party already offered him to get into one of the delegate positions in Florida. Yeah,
but did you see what Melania did? She pulled the reins on that bad boy.
Oh, I know, buddy. He's I don't know.
He's 18.
Yeah, he's a pup. He's just a baby.
But Melania pulled the reins on that.
The world is doomed.
Yeah,
no, it ain't.
So that's 30 years from now. No, 30 years from now, he'll be 40. He'll be a great age to be president of the United States. He can get up there and take over and conquer the world. Yes, dude, he's like 6'6", 6'5". He's huge.
He's huge. But you know what? Did you listen to Glenn Beck? I did before the show. And he says, for anybody out there who's a Democrat that voted for Joe Biden, Donald Trump should have said, listen, this is the guy who can only press the red button. You know what I mean? He's the only one that can launch a nuclear missile. Do you want him to launch the nuclear missile?
I'm more scared he'll fall asleep and not launch something when he needs to. He'd be up there snoring in his arms. It was a rough day, man. Bro. Jill didn't bring me my peanut butter sandwich, man.
All you gotta do is look at him at any of his non-speaking moments. Even his mouth is gaping open.
He don't even blink. He doesn't blink. He doesn't. Watch him. He don't blink.
How is the world? How are there people that are still falling for it? That's what I want. Oh, he's great. How are you saying that? How? What?
They're saving you know why? They're saving their own political careers.
Well, their own party. It's at this point, it's a sad state of affairs that like everybody's been saying, it's elder abuse. It really is kind of elder abuse.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's really running the country? We don't know who's actually really running the country because I guarantee you, most of his day he's not lucid all the time. He's
well, what
out
about
there.
that whole theory of it's actually like Obama's third term?
I don't know if Jill would let Obama have a third term.
But, I mean, he's vicariously through.
No, that's what I mean. I don't know if Biden's wife would let him have a third term. She's got all the power. Why would she give it up?
Oh, the missus?
She's the one that's
Yeah.
She's probably making the calls in the White House. She really is.
She probably just brings Biden in Obama in when she needs some help.
And then I heard today that they're seriously thinking about, electing Michelle to go as a president.
Well, so they talk about that. So one of the things they were talking about is establishing her, not so much making her run for president because they don't think she can win. What they're saying is bring her to the DNC, let her win the candidacy, and then let her turn it down. That establishes her for like the next term if she decides she wants to run for president of the United States. Because the Democrats really at this point are really seriously thinking they're not going to win this election. Right. So they need to start canceling. Since Donald's going to be a one-term president, they need to seriously start thinking past this on to the next one. And they're thinking maybe Michelle, but Michelle's don't have a lot of issues. Just because she was the wife of the president don't mean she knows anything about being a president. It's I don't know how that would go. And she just, I've heard her on many occasions say, "Look, I just don't want to be president." It's I don't think she feels like, maybe she just watched her husband and said, "This is just not worth the shit." I mean, it's only, it's $800,000 a year job, and she's making more than that now, sitting on her ass or just going out and lecturing or touring. So I don't know why she would put herself through that. I mean, maybe she would. I mean, look at these two idiots on the stage tonight. Last night they were putting themselves through it. It's and it would be hard with just for the Democrats. You got 4 months. So let's say they can get Biden something more lyrically to step down now, have a really fast a delegate thing, maybe a month and a half. They maybe, if they're lucky, can get somebody picked up by 2 months before the election. I don't know.
I don't know about that, brother.
Yeah, and then if it can get contested, the Republicans can contest it. So I don't. It looks bad. So I think when it comes right down to it, Joe Biden wants to run, and as long as he wants to run, I guarantee about 32% of his party will back him up to run. Right. So I don't know if the Nancy Pelosi's and the Hillary Clintons and the other powers to be, and Schumer and all of them, can get him out, because they really have been pushing the Gavin Newsom thing hard, but I don't see Gavin being the guy. He seems to be too much of a wuss to run the United States. What's that, Clarence? He just seems he's mushy. He gives in too easy, and Americans don't like squishy, gushy people. Biden got in because nobody thought he was squishy, gushy. Everybody thought he was an asshole. That's why he got elected. We don't like wimpy presidents. We never have. No. Well, Jimmy Carter was probably the wimpiest president we've had since I've been alive. He just smushy, gushy, president that caved into a lot of things. Joe Biden, probably if he had more of his facilities around, would be quite a bit meaner than he is now. Maybe Putin wouldn't have came in and invaded Crimea, I should say the Ukraine. But Trump is right. He was telling the truth when he said, no, Putin didn't invade any territory while he was president, but he has in the last 4 presidents, including this one. So, the truth speaks for itself. And I really do think that Putin will end this war much faster if Trump is president, because Trump will start slapping all kinds of sanctions against them, against China, everybody. We went from the number 1 trade partner with China to number 3. If we go to like number 25, China's in big trouble. If we push Europe to come with us, China's in real big trouble. I mean, they don't have any trade with who? Iran. Like, Iran's got any real money. Saudi Arabia's got money, but they ain't got that many people. I mean, India maybe might trade, but India hates them, so I doubt that's going to happen. Russia can trade with them, but Russia don't have any money. So I mean, it's I think China will cave. So we'll see where it all goes. What was that? What do you mean? Who does? What's funny about this? Xi Jinping and Putin would probably much rather have Trump at the helm, for world stability reasons. If everything stabilizes and everybody can come to an equitable agreement, the money can flow. So, and he knows that Trump's a businessman that's workable. Biden scares him because, Putin's up there on a rampage, threatening to use nuclear weapons. China's talking about retaking Taiwan. The United States is just sitting there with its thumb up its ass going, well, we got to get our chips out of there, man. Yeah, that's what we got to do. And, I think that's what we really got to do first. We got to bring them back to the United States. We've been saying that for 3 damn years. What the hell's a holdup? We should have already had all of our main chips back in the U.S. and everything destroyed inside of Taiwan. And started allowing those Taiwanians, if they wanted to come here, to work those manufactured products they can. In the end, I mean, we have given our word that we will defend Taiwan. So maybe that's Joe Biden's, like 3 weeks before the election, China invades Taiwan. We strike China with a nuclear weapon. And then, of course, there's no election.
Breaks loose.
There's no election then. Mark, I've seen that article about every aircraft carrier has at least one sub following it by Russians. That's true, they do. Shit, they probably got one Chinese sub following it too.
Fuck yeah, they do. Oops, excuse me.
But what's funny about that? There's at least 1 or 2 American subs following. If it was funny, so Russia's been sailing its fleet around, screwing around with it in their little top of the line submarine that the sound phone was falling off of. So they're cruising around, right smack in the middle of it. Comes an Ohio-Class, just pops up. Bloop, hey, what y'all guys doing? I know you're over here. Let's party, man. The Russians are crapping this door. They made a big complaint about it. Yeah, they made a big complaint. Well, they forget sometimes, just like China learned while Trump was president. We are pretty stealthy still. So you better watch out. You better be good. Santa Claus ain't going to be good. Oh, that's another thing. I did not realize that Christmas was as big in China and Japan as it was. I was like, wow, look at this shit.
Really? I didn't know that.
Huge. I was watching some Japanese thing, and I'm like, wow, they're freaking out. Christmas trees everywhere, tree lights up all over the place, parks all lit up. I'm like, shit, I feel like I'm at home. And then so I checked if China did it too, and they said even though China doesn't observe the holiday, they really practice Christmas. And I was like, wow, okay, well, this is interesting. I mean, what would it be like to go to China in Christmas? Christmas lights and dragons. I mean, that should be interesting. What's that? No, I'm serious, John. Don't look. You don't have to take my word for it. Go for it. You're still voting for Biden? Oh, you shitting me, right? I mean, that's your right as a citizen of the United States.
Ask him why is he voting for Biden? I want to know. He said
because Trump's an evil bastard who's going to bring America to its death.
Do you ask him this? Ask him if he wants Joe Biden in control of the ballistic missiles, the nuclear missiles.
He said Biden was just tired last night and that he'll do better than me in the exercise. And God. He is the greatest president since who? Bill Clinton. Well, hey, that's your opinion. I liked Bill though, so I'm not going to argue about Bill, but I'm not going to say Bill was the greatest president. He was a good one.
How much is the DNC paying this dude to talk like this shit?
He said he just. Well, I can understand you want to support your party. Well, no, I'm not party affiliated. I'm a centrist, so or a medalist, whatever you call it. I'm not independent. It's a little different. But no, I can respect you want to be. But why would you vote for? I mean, come on, dude. Did you watch the debate? I mean, come on. He was like, "Yeah, well, that's the way it's going to be." And then we're going to go over here, and you're just a liar, Trump. You're just a liar. For the jibber jabber for like 5 minutes. And then he comes back with some disjointed statements. Every now and then he had some good ones. No, I don't want to take away his good moments because he had a couple of good moments. It's just most of the time it was jibber jabber. You are the president of the most powerful nation to ever exist on this planet, and you're speaking in jibber jabber against your opponent. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's your right as a citizen. No, I appreciate your comment. It's your right. Y'all don't pick on him. It's his right if he wants to believe that shit. Why am I voting?
There's always one, Joe. There's always one.
No, there is. What do you mean why I'm voting for Kennedy? Because I can vote for against the United States. I can vote for who the hell I want to. I might vote for Biden. Now, what you say about that? Yeah, that's
not quitting.
Sean said, "I'm out of this place."
I'll be gone. I'll be gone. I'll be done.
Who's voting? You mean on this network? We have conservatives on this network. We have liberals on this network. We have independents, centralists. Oh no, I can tell you now, the liberals on this network are going to vote for Joe Biden. Yes, they are. Yes, I know several of them are friends of mine, and they're going to vote for Joe Biden. I know conservatives that are also going to vote for Joe Biden. I actually know one or two that's just not going to vote. Most of the independents I know are going to vote for, not for Joe Biden. The conservatives are going to vote for Trump. And a couple, like I said, are not going to vote. And then I know quite a few independents is also going to vote for Trump. And and then there's going to a lot of people are going to just sit out, though. So I guess that's really what it comes down to. How many people sit out in this election? How many people show up at the polls and go, click, click, click? Jack, that came up the other night on last week's show about, is it true about her last name being Owens? Is she married to I think it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen 3 or 4 reputable news places picked up the story. And so I think it is. Yeah, that's a conflict of interest, but I don't think anybody's going to do anything about it. Well, yeah, no, he owns the company that does the voting machines. Yeah, and Jill and his daughter is married to him, or his niece is married to him, whatever the hell it is.
Who are you talking about? I wasn't here last week. Oh, really? Okay.
So Owens is the owner of the company that does the machines, the voting machines. He's married to can't remember if it's the daughter or the niece or whatever it is, but they're direct line to Joe Biden. Direct line. Like 1 or 2 steps. They're just direct line. So it does seem a little bit on the scary side that that could be true. Who knows for sure? What's that, Marsha?
Marsha.
See this girl giving you trouble. Yeah, she likes giving people trouble. What do you got for us? You thinking about voting for Joe Biden too?
Why?
You think you did good last night? Really?
Marsha.
So
Marsha.
Did you hear me say that?
Yes, we did.
Everything.
Now I'm repeating it.
Can you tell me what you thought his strong points were? that he called Trump out in his lies. Well, what can you tell me what lies they were?
There's our boy.
No, really, can you tell me what lies they were? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Well, what lies were they? Well, I'm not saying Trump didn't lie about something. I'm just asking you, since you're going to vote for Biden, what lie are we talking about? We got like the Biden fan club in here tonight. So I'm just
it's like
curious.
A bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm not hating. I told you I'm voting for Kennedy. You don't believe me? Well, it's okay. You don't have to believe me. It doesn't really matter. You're not hurting my feelings.
I have a question for Biden supporters.
Here it comes, y'all. Y'all in world of shit now.
Not that I support Trump, but how can you support Biden knowing that he's cognitively impaired?
He's elder abuse. I've been using your elder abuse all night.
Can you not see it? I work in a nursing home. I work with elderly people. He should be in one.
That's why she has to keep her face covered like that so that elder people don't see her and, sacrifice her ass or something.
How you doing, Jay? Good to see you.
Good, Sean. Thanks. Hey, he's exhibiting the same things that my father did just before he passed. He just complete lapses of memory. Yeah,
he feels safe knowing that he's going to be the person in control of.
I am Joe Biden. You, buddy.
Making such high-level decisions.
Well, he scares the living shit out of me, but that's I live in a fairly safe place. I'm not gonna worry about it too bad. But he's
but is he making the decisions though? Also, is another important thing.
Well, we were talking about that a little while ago. I think personally, because they were asking if it was Obama, and I really think it's more of his. I don't think his old lady would give up that power because she's got it. I mean, she's the wife of the president.
And she is all there. Like she has all.
Yeah, and she was a teacher. She's a liberal teacher, and they kind of think a certain kind of way, and kind of progressive. And she's like, I love you, baby. And, he just go. He just And he just goes and does it.
You just chase Jay.
Jay's like, you don't love me, baby. I'm out of here.
I'm still here.
What's that, Carly? Who's the guy on the bottom right? Oh man, you better not. You better hope she don't hear that. You better hope she don't hear that. She can kick your ass.
I don't have your guy part. Sorry, I might have the testosterone you have, but I don't have.
That's Leah, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, if y'all want to vote,
I'll take you on.
I think she will too. She's ex-Marine. You better watch out. It's
supposedly there's no such thing as an ex-Marine.
That's true. That once you served in most branches of the service, you're never ex. You're just on kind of on retirement or on standby.
So I can't claim I was.
But okay. How many damn liberals are on my page today?
How many of them are bots?
You know, no, this is my regular Facebook page, my personal page. It's no. Hey, I don't have nothing. I know a lot of my friends are liberals. I don't hate on y'all, but you still ain't told me why you voting for it. I mean, it's like voting for the dog that chases his tail. I mean, come on, why? It's cute and funny, and now if you're voting for the funniest dog, yeah, but do you want that dog stepping on your nuclear weapons?
Okay, so out of the two, who's been to Epstein Island and who hasn't?
So then, that's an interesting. I'm glad you put that. So Biden has been there. Trump has been there too. But the difference is Trump went one time, came back to Mar-a-Lago, tore up Epstein's membership, and told him he was never allowed in Mar-a-Lago ever again. He banned him from his place. Bam. But Joe Biden never did any of that because I think Obama went too. Well, that's why they're never going to make the list public, Chris. They can't. There's too many names in there that would make too much trouble.
Hey,
Bill was like
Trump
27
say that
times.
If he became president, that he would expose that whole list of people.
He's going to try. Yes, Chris, and he also said that he's going to do away with income tax. He's going to try to do away with income tax. He's also going to do away with tax to anybody who's like a waitress. Anybody who works gets tips.
Hey,
he wants to take tax off the tips.
That's why they're trying so hard to make sure he can't become president.
They don't want him to be president because the Democrats are power hungry and idiots who they lost their way somewhere around, I don't know, right after Bill. They just kind of went around and they just lost it. Obama could have been a good president, but by putting him in so soon without any experience, he was basically lame duck. I mean, they had the House and the Senate the first 2 years and they lost the House. At the next election, then they lost the House and the Senate and didn't have anything the whole entire time Obama was president for the next 4 years. He was lame duck for the whole damn 4 years. The House and Senate belonged to the Republicans, and like 34 governors did as well. So they just screwed the man. If they'd let him have 6 or 12 years as a senator, he might have been a decent president. He might have been another Clinton or something.
Given enough experience, yeah, I agree. The whole shift, I think the paradigm shift where they went nutso was right around the Affordable Care Act when that was coming out. That whole fiasco, especially was it Reno that said, don't read it, just sign it and you read it later.
Oh, I don't know if it was them or Pelosi. It was one of them. Oh,
it's their job. They have to read the law before they put it in. You can't just go, oh yeah, let's summarily put it into action and then boom.
I mean, it was 5,000 pages. It was this thick.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit there. Well, okay, that sucks. And it's written in attorney jargon at that. So you're like, boring. Oh, what's this? Boring. Oh, what's this? Oh, who's this? I know that person. But because they put pork belly jobs in it. Boring. So who was going to read that I don't think anybody ever read the 5,000 page. Maybe some Republicans did, or maybe some aides did. They might have read it and said, "Oh, look, let's look at these aides." What's that, Christopher?
Well, I might be able to guarantee that almost any representative or senator that voted for that, or rather voted no on that, did read it.
Yeah, well, probably so, because there was probably a ton of stuff in there that didn't need to be in there. Reese, I'm not voting for Biden. Who told you that? Leah told you that, right? No, Leah's not voting for Biden either. So what are you talking about?
Biden's not voting for Biden.
I cannot consciously feel like even anyone is worth voting for. How?
Well, what do you mean? if somebody paid me to vote for the orange guy, what are you talking about? I think that's illegal anyway. I will vote when I get in there in the booth. I will go, okay, who am I voting for? And I'll go click, 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 and I'll decide right then and there. How's that?
I'm angry. I'm angry that these are what we get to choose from.
You need a Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
It's
Well, yeah. Let me ask you this question: who do you think you would want to run for president?
That's a good question. There was an interview I saw just at, I mean, I don't know when they interviewed, but was it after the debate? And they asked this fella, and he was a Democrat, and they asked him why he was voting for Biden. And the guy paused for like a good 3 or 4 seconds. Then he goes, who else is there? Well, there's got to be someone better in the Democratic Party. If Biden's the best they got, then they got no chance ever.
Honestly, I feel like at this point it's obvious that the two-party system is flawed. There's something wrong, and there's a sickness that needs to be cured inside of the whole shebang.
Yeah, the swamp was not fully drained. That's the problem. Trump said that he was going to drain the swamp, and he got some of it, but you can clearly see. I mean, there was an interview with him with Dr. Phil just afterwards too, where he was talking about.
Yeah, I actually caught that. It was interesting.
Yeah, and he said he's not allowed to talk about the trial, even though he did talk about it, and he said it was that the conspiracy.
You let Dr. Phil talk about it, actually.
Yeah,
that was slick.
Yeah, Dr. Phil didn't have any gag order on him, but Trump did say that it was that the whole thing was a fiasco, and that it was a complete conspiracy just against him to get him off the race.
Oh, wait, I see some MSNBC polls and some clear polls saying that if Kamala Harris was to take Joe Biden's place, she would be even at a bigger disadvantage, at a 6-point disadvantage, and Governor Newsom would be at a 25-point disadvantage. Wow. First off, ain't no way Kamala's only going to be at 6 points. I want to see those polls, buddy. There ain't no way I'm buying that one. Maybe at 16 points. Maybe if that's the only candidate they had, but see, that's what people don't keep understanding. She's not, if he steps down, she's not letting Governor Newsom, man, but she's going to be, screw you. I could be the first woman of color president. Get the hell out of here. She's no way she's going to give it. There's no way she can be.
Just laugh her way to the podium.
Yeah.
No, she can't.
They did mention Governor Newsom as a possible candidate replacement for Biden if the Democratic Party chooses to, that he'd be a good one, but I disagree with that completely.
Well, and the polling numbers are showing that Harris would be a better one than Newsom. Newsom's got too many issues. He's and then they got things like from the Daily Mail, the man who could be president if Biden steps down.
There's too
and
many.
They skip right over Kamala Harris. That's just got to be pissing her off. Go ahead, bud.
There's too many people who have seen the downfall and degradation of California to trust anybody who has been in charge of California over the past 10 to 20 years.
Well, they also seen him get his ass handed to him by the Florida governor, not once, but twice. They debated twice, and he just handed it to him. I mean, the poor guy I don't think he ever wants to come. And one of my favorite things was, and he said, they were talking about, places to live and places where people live. And he said, let's not forget, Mr. Newsom, you have a condo in Florida. I don't have one in California. That was just such an embarrassment, man. I mean, he just bitch slapped him all the way in the next month. I was like, damn, boy, he just slapped you hard. You want to come hang out in his state, but he don't want to come hang out in your state. That speaks volumes. Let's see.
I'm afraid that's my home state. That's where I was born. That's where I graduated high school. That's where a lot of my childhood memories are from. And I'm terrified. I'm terrified to go back to California because I just never had the tools that I was never taught the tools that were necessary to be in the upper class, because that's what it takes to survive in California.
Well, you don't have to be upper class, but you need to be at least in the $250,000, $300,000 a year range. Just to kind of bump heads with some people. Donald Trump could be in for a huge windfall after the Supreme Court narrowly changes again. So the Supreme Court, by the way, I'm glad I read that, because they have been helping Donald out a little bit. So the June 6th stuff, looks like Jack's going to have to drop half the charges right off the bat. And then they're scared that they're going to give him some kind of immunity from certain types of crimes for being president. So we'll see how that floats out. But actually, what the Supreme Court is really hoping is that they can delay it till the election, then they don't have to make a decision. But if it looks like they're going to try to put the guy in jail, they're going to change it. What do you mean? This judge has the right to put Trump in jail as the judge, and Trump has been found guilty in 34 counts.
That's a lot of counts, man.
Yeah, and they deliberated for 2 days, though, which is for 34 counts seems a little short. There have been murder trials. It's one count of murder that the jury's been deliberating for days and days and days, and they can't come to a decision. This is 12 people that come to a decision within 2 days and unanimously agree across the board on 34 counts. So you would think that some of those counts they wouldn't have agreed on.
Yeah, it's well, we knew in the beginning. So first we knew the judge. The judge is a big Biden supporter and gives him money. His wife gives him money. We know that. So I didn't even realize this. The lead prosecutor on here used to work for Garland. He was way up in the agency with him. So we know Joe Biden and Garland talked a couple of days before they brought they changed these charges. This guy left he left their office. What do they call him? The DOJ's office. The district attorney of the United States district attorney left the office, took a pay cut to go work this case in New York after Donald Trump. So no one actually believes he actually did that. Everybody's like, well, why would he? And he didn't even live in New York. They're kind of like, well, wait, this guy moved and took a pay cut and everything to go work this case. And of course, Alan Briggs, who had passed on this case at least once, and all the other district attorneys had passed on, including the federal district attorney, everybody was confused. And then, of course, the statute of limitations ran out, and then they did some funky monkey stuff to bring it back. We'll have to see what the upper courts think.
Too. I mean, they completely ignored the letter of the law.
That's what I said. We're going to have to see what the upper courts say. It's going to have to go to 2 courts or 3 courts before it gets to the Supreme Court. It may get shot down before that. It's one of those things. But now I don't even know how this works. So let's say that he's waiting for an appeal and he wins the presidency. Does this just go on hold for 4 years? And then after 4 years, it's way past any statute of limitations, or Trump could just put or he could just pardon himself right at the end or something. I don't know how that would work. But if he loses, he's surely going to go to jail. Somebody's going to put him in jail. The Georgia case looks like it's on hold. Looks like this girl might be out of trouble. Also, one of the other recent decisions by the Supreme Court kind of puts a couple of nails in this other case is Coffin as well. So it seems to be changing a little bit and more favor to Trump. But, the Jack Smith guy, he's losing his mind because he can't seem to get anything. This judge is like, no, you're not going to just bully your way through here. This isn't a Democratic judge. We're not going to play that game. And then, of course, the Supreme Court's going to review all of these cases, by the way, all these June 6th. All these June 6th cases. They're going to go through them because they think a lot of these people were illegally prosecuted. A lot of the 51 who pled guilty and got charged and all are going to get new trials now. So there's a lot of stuff went on here. It was a big thing for the people on June 6th. And because sooner or later somebody had to realize this was no worse than any of these Black Lives Matter things or any of these. Let's take over Wall Street. Or let's take over 14 blocks in Seattle. Let's burn down the federal building. I mean, come on. They were. I don't even think they're as bad as most of those things. So somebody out there had to do it. Is that Keith? You're going to pay everybody $5 to vote for Biden? Okay, hold on. Let me get over here and vote for him 100 times real quick. Yeah, I can do that real quick. Yeah, I'll send you proof. Yes. $5 to vote for Biden. No, really, who are you voting for? You voting for Kennedy? Why? Why are you voting for Kennedy? You hate Biden, you don't trust Trump? Well, I mean, I got to give Trump credit. I mean, the economy was pretty good under Trump. I mean, you can't hate on Trump because of COVID. That wasn't his fault. That was Fauci's fault. And hopefully they go after Mr. Fauci. Well, I can actually see Leah. Hail, Leah. Hail to Leah.
Not only was the economy good, there were much fewer global conflicts going on at the time. And Trump did. I don't think he lied on purpose. I think he inadvertently missed some facts. He said no soldiers died under his watch. Well, the Afghanistan thing was going on. I think 13 or 14 soldiers were killed during his watch. I think so. There wasn't there weren't any actual conflicts that made them die. So it wasn't like Ukraine wasn't going on and that kind of stuff. So
Frank, no, I mean the Afghan war was going on under Trump, Frank, but it wasn't really a war for us. It was more like a babysitting thing for us. We weren't really doing much, and Trump had already said he wanted to pull out. He was going to do it in his second term. He had already talked about it. He wanted to get out of there. He would have never did that fiasco that Trump did. That was a nightmare. We lucky we didn't lose more than 38 people. You see, okay, look, guys, real quick. So we lost 38 people on the ground there that day. Also, we left behind families and allies, which is the same thing we did in Vietnam, by the way.
Yeah.
Behind because we wanted to get out of there real fast. Vietnam understood because the Chinese were on their way, and it was fixing to be all hell broke loose. But Afghanistan, I didn't understand.
There was no reason to turn tail from Afghanistan the way
they could have just put all this stuff together and walked out as a respectable thing. But no, I think they wanted the terrorists to have the stuff. I do. I think they wanted the terrorists to have the stuff.
I agree. Democrats
have always been funny about that.
The agreement that Trump, or not the agreement, but the pullout plan that Trump had put into place was to take a little bit at a time until we were all out, no damage. But Biden just just completely ignored that idea and took everybody at once and left. I mean, it's like you're saying, drop what you got and come. That's what they said.
It was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen.
Equipment alone, billions of equipment.
And you know what? It didn't even the equipment, which was billions, didn't even bother me as much as they left so many types of. They left that too, but they left all them uniforms behind.
Yeah,
which made it dangerous for any troops we had out there.
I mean, bulletproof vests, uniforms, helmets, magazines, filled magazines with bullets, guns, all kinds of stuff. And they tried to, disable some of the equipment, the helicopters and stuff. But there's only so much you can do unless you destroy them.
I don't understand what I did. A grenade would have did that,
Yeah, but they left enough equipment behind it that whatever was disabled, it wouldn't take them long to get working again.
Yeah, the whole thing stank like we were doing it on purpose.
Absolutely.
No, see, Chris, and you want to vote for this guy?
Yeah,
he got people killed on the withdrawal. Well, yeah, at least he withdrew. Trump was going to withdraw too, and Obama's the one that got us out of Iraq after using God knows how many drones and killing how many tens of thousands of people with drones. No, he killed a lot of people with drones. He's actually quite proud of. He's actually bragged on many occasions when he was given things about how many people his drones have killed. Oh yes. Well, he always said it wasn't women and children, even though some were women and children. No, do I think he was targeting them on purpose? I don't think Obama's that cold-hearted. No, I think he was just wherever they told him to send him is where he was sending them. That's what I think. Oh no, what I mean by this, he actually drove a couple. Yes, they actually had a drone center set up at the White House. Yes, it was very cool. They showed it before. Yeah, no, you don't take my word for it. I don't know, but it was really cool stuff. That's just one of those things. Obama wasn't an evil bastard. Obama was just
incompetent.
He was just before his time, really. He just didn't have. He just, unfortunately, he just didn't have the experience to be a good president. You can't just walk in and be a good president. At least with Trump, you'd say he has no politics, which is a good thing in a lot of ways because he's got a lot of other experience in how to run companies, how to build things. And, somebody the other day said, well, he filed bankruptcy like 4 times. I think it was more like 8, but he has 112 companies, successful companies. I'm thinking, how could you say that he was failing? I mean, that's pretty good odds, man. I mean, shit. But yet he sold a lot of them, and Well, casinos are always risky business. If you go back to Las Vegas, you'll see the casinos out there have changed thousands of times. Well, I shouldn't say thousands, but a lot of times. Whoa, who's that? Jesus Christ. Freaking alien got off my screen like they gave me a heart attack.
Las Vegas wouldn't be Las Vegas without
the mob.
Not just the mob, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
Do you know they did business with the mob in order to like secure fundage? The mob, that's where the mob got their money.
Damn Christians. See, Christians are just evil. That's why I'm not a Christian.
They're not Christians, they're Mormons. They're completely different.
They're
Christian. It's a Christian type of sect, but they're convinced, and I've seen this monument millions of times. The Mormon Cathedral in Washington D.C. It's actually not in D.C. It's their big temple, and it's in Silver Spring, Maryland. I've driven past it hundreds of millions of times on the D.C. Beltway. There's a golden statue of the trumpet player up at the top of the highest spire, and these people are fully convinced that when the Armageddon hits, that dude comes to life and blows that horn he's holding. It's a golden statue. It's an effigy made by some construction company. How can you believe that a statue that we made, some human made, is going to...
Well, maybe that angel told them to make the damn thing.
What if I told you I was a Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint?
I grew up Christian. I don't believe in the faith at all anymore. I can't. I have not been able to put my faith in an invisible God that was invented by man to control other men.
Control man.
I was like 5 and 6 years old. I'm like, who is this guy in the Bible? I mean, one minute he's making us, the next minute he wants to kill everybody. Who the F are we messing with in this book? I could never get past that whole thing.
It's hard for me to wrap my head around too, to be honest.
Yes. No, Gene. No, I've said 100 times I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. It's a much different thing. I'm sorry, dude. No, I went through all of the churches. I was a Catholic, made my confirmation, my communion, did the whole thing, grew up that way.
That whole spiel.
Went over to Baptist and hung out with the Baptists, and Linda was a Pentecostal. I mean, we was in a lot of different religions. And then my dad died. You know what I said? I'm not gonna say what I said because this is a polite radio show. But anyway, I got into the dark arts and started studying all this kind of stuff that I shouldn't have, and I got with some devil
recasting
worshipers.
spells on people, Joe.
Oh, far worse than that. Far worse than that.
What are you talking about, Leah?
And then I feed him to the alligators in the swamp, so there's no evidence. But anyway,
yeah,
it's I got into all of that, and then I realized. I was sitting down on a rock over the water one night about 20 feet from shore, and I was sitting there, and these dolphins came up chirping. I was like, what the fuck is this? It kind of freaked me out for a minute. And I was like, and I got to thinking sometimes I took life entirely too serious. I was thinking, religion really isn't going to run my life, because if I look what all the people's lives that religion has run, it's pretty much wrecked them. Not everybody now, but a lot. So I said, and then I got to thinking of something I had read when I was, 25, about split a rock theorem, split a logarithm. They were talking about Jesus Christ and the St. Thomas epistles, which doesn't believe in organized religion or churches. It believes that wherever the individual is, that they can worship their God at that place anytime. Doesn't matter where they are. Just wherever they feel like talking to God, they can do it.
Well, wouldn't that mean that God would be like within us at all, like God is within us ourselves, like as if we were locked away in a prison cell, wouldn't he be present, or God, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna ask everybody listening to this show, and everybody, and hopefully this will go viral and stuff, stop bugging God. Jesus Christ, people, there are 8 billion of y'all. 8 billion of y'all. If y'all don't quit it, one day he's just gonna go poof. Okay, he's gonna say, I got to get rid of these ants. I can't take this shit anymore. Poof. And we're going to be gone. So leave him alone. Give him a break. Him and his son. Give him a break. Let him chill. Okay. Whatever religion you believe in. I don't give a shit what religion it is. Just take it easy. What do you mean Muslims got it best? Yeah, because they get 22 virgins when they go to hell. I mean, go to heaven.
42.
I thought it was 77, but
well, so a friend of mine the other day was telling me how much worse the Catholics are than the Muslims. I I said, at least the Catholics teach you if you kill people, you go to hell. The Muslims teach you if you kill people, you get virgins and go to heaven. I was like, which religion do you want to follow? I was like, Jesus.
Who's got the best perks?
People, that's why I don't go into religion. And the Pentecostals are crazy. They so restrict that they're freaking nuts.
The Baptists are kind of cool, though. They have a
Baptists
pool.
are cool. They
actually have a pool in the church. I didn't join the church. I've been to a few,
no, I've been dunked.
Services, yeah, it's like a waste people that do the baptism things in it.
I've been baptized we count the holy dark shit 5 times in my life. Yes. 3 in churches, 1 in a witches group, and 1 in a dark arts group. And I'm not getting into that. It's too much for you youngins to understand. I might burst into flames or some shit.
Do you think it all sticks with us no matter what? Like,
well, it's always back there. It's always in my head. I mean, all that stuff, is back there. Matter of fact, somebody asked me about doing tarot card readings. And I was thinking, I pulled out my cat cards, which are, anytime I read these cards, I always read the darkest of anything. So I'm reading them, and as I'm looking, they got blood stains on them. They got wax stains on them. There's all kind of shit on these cards. These cards did so many spells that it's ridiculous. So I just put them back together, put them back in a box. I keep them in a cedar box. Both my decks I keep in cedar boxes. With silver underneath them. It's just to make them behave themselves. They might decide to get their own little ideas. Chris, what do you mean? Do I believe in the tarot? I believe that sometimes you can touch into someone's being and read that being. Doesn't always work. Linda had quit.
But there's the I Ching also. That I think it does work. I don't think it's magic. I think there's
not magic.
There's like a mathematical formula out there to figure out everything, pretty much. So maybe it's part of a mathematical formula, just that through practice, people that
you tap into it. Whatever it is, you're tapping into something. And
there's something to it. Absolutely. I'm not saying it's false. I'm not saying it's just it isn't magical.
Sesse, is that how you say your name? Sesse? I actually read at a pretty famous place in the French Quarter. There's a couple on the thing. I can't say their name due to but anyway, it's pretty famous. You can look it up. It's not real hard to thing. Just you took in tea readings, tarot readings, stuff like that. These days I'm busy. I like keeping up with the news. I got other things going on. Oh, you want me to put a spell on you? Is that what you want? Okay, poof. Your dick's going to be 2 inches shorter. Because you said you were voting for Democrats. I was giving you a present. Oh, no, it's too late now. You better tell your wife it's going to start shriveling. I'm sorry. It's not going to do for it. If you want it reversed, $500 you'll have to send to me.
That's funny.
Yes. Donation to go to the United Public Radio page and donate $500 and I'll reverse the spell. If not, whatever, if you had 5, now it's going to be 3. It's going to be horrible, man. That's all I'm telling you.
And if you don't pay within the next 24 hours, it's going to go up another 5.
That's right. You better watch that. And it's going to go down another inch. I'm just warning y'all. What do you mean? Yes, I am a sick bastard sometimes. Well, everybody been telling me, my friends, everybody I know, oh, we want the Mean Joe back. You've been just being so nice and so pussy and all. I'm like, really? I said, y'all used to cry like babies when the Mean Joe was around. Oh, no, stop it, Joe. And I keep warning everybody, but they keep pushing it. So he's coming back. Yeah, I almost made the damn girl at McDonald's cry today. Because she was an idiot. That's why. I was like, anyway, enough of all of that. What if you want to learn about magic and spells? We got tons of shows on the network about that. Yep. You don't have to learn it from me. You'll start at a lower level first. Yes. Yeah, it's better to learn your way up. Yeah. It's better to learn your way up instead of down because I know things that might get you in trouble. Yes, and I don't want to do that. I'll feel bad. Maybe I might not feel bad, but I can lie. Michelle will turn you into a frog.
Just don't do this. Don't read tarot by yourself or even paranormal investigate by yourself.
I always tell people, wait, number one, if you read your own card, you're setting your own destiny. So don't do that, people. That's ignorant. That's ignorant. Oh, yeah. Anytime you read your own tarot cards for your own self, you're setting your own destiny, you dumbasses. No, it's not.
It's a good thing I don't know how to read them. I have a set that I got from one of the publishers. They're really cool tarot cards. They're
give them to your girlfriend, let her read them. You can interpret them, but you can't be the one that puts them out and lays them out.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I looked at them, and that's it. And it's strictly for the artwork. The theme of them is like old style monsters, like the MGM monsters, and they got like Scooby-Doo characters on there. It's a very, very cool set. But I didn't like. I just looked at the cards.
The number one reason why people buy a lot of tarot decks, it's because of the artwork.
Yes, but Jimmy, I'm gonna answer Jimmy's question about that right now. Jimmy, you should never buy your own tarot deck. If you're gonna read, somebody has to give it to you as a gift. If you want it to work right, it has to be gifted to you. If you buy it yourself, it's not gonna work the same. I'm just telling you.
I've had two decks gifted to me.
Yes, you always get your decks gifted to you.
You know who?
Yes, it doesn't count if Satan gives them to you now.
Yeah, mine technically counts as a gift, as it came from the company that pressed them, that made the cards.
It's but you should never. I would Sean, you should never read cards by yourself.
No,
it's like playing with the Ouija board by yourself, especially if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, so they can teach you the right way.
What's that, Michael? Michael, I have burned every Ouija board I've ever had. That bitch went up in flames. Oh yeah, in the fireplace. My sister was playing one night. She just freaked out. I walked in, picked it up, walked to the front, tossed it in the place. She's like, brother, I'm like, you burn, baby, burn. You got out of my house, you go.
But Joe, you know what? You can't burn them. You can't, because the spirit that's attached to that Ouija board is still hanging around. You need to go, and you need to put it in a box with sea salt and bury it by an old oak tree or whatever tree, and just bury it, and then put salt on top of it, so that spirit that's attached to that board, okay, stays by that tree. There. You can't burn it.
Why not just throw it in the ocean?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what oldie witchy showed me. So she'd put it in she used to sea salt all of her fire. She had 2 fireplaces in her house, and she always would go in there with these big boxes of sea salt and whoosh, all over the place. And then she would throw something in there, and she would burn it. Then she would scrape out the ashes and put it in a box, and go take it and weight it down and drop it in the middle of the swamp somewhere. And I'll tell you what I seen. This was weird. I seen this one lady make a voodoo doll, and she was really mad at somebody. And this old witchy man, she messed up who his person was. Every time she played with it, messed up. So she was scaring us. So she took it out to the swamp and threw the damn thing in the swamp. As she did it, this snake just came up and coiled itself around this thing and sucked it under and took it away. When we got home that evening, the old guy had a heart attack and died.
Wow.
That was like,
oh, you don't mess with this.
I was like, voodoo lady, you're my best friend. I'll never scare you again. You're good friends. I love you. Don't hurt me. There's some weird stuff I've seen. I mean,
especially down in New Orleans.
Dame Richard? No.
Yeah.
Well, they were reading one night for a friend of ours, and it came up showing her she was going to have an abortion, or she was going to have a miscarriage. Actually, let me say. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of blood with a baby. And it looked like it was very soon. So we had all told her she was going to a concert in the Gulf Coast. We said, man, maybe you ought to stay home just to be able to say something. She said, no, I'm going. And I said, Charlotte, I've been knowing you a long time. I would never tell you. I said, because we were going too. I said, I want you to come with us. Actually, I think it was Stevie Nicks. And I said, I want you to come. I said, but in all fairness, I said, I'm really worried about what we saw. And she says, you really believe this? I said, I said, what? I said, look, I said, I'll pay you for your tickets, and we'll give them to somebody else, or we'll sell them, or we'll give whatever. And I said, and I said, I guarantee you next one. I said, I'll even pay for the next concert so you can go. And so they stayed home, and somewhere around 9:00 that night, she just started bleeding. She had a spontaneous abortion, is what they called it. And she just bled out.
You mean a miscarriage?
Yeah, but no, he called it. Sometimes he didn't call it abortion. He called it something else, but he had some name for it. And then the doctor told, he said they only live like 3 blocks from the hospital. He said if they'd have been any longer than that, she wouldn't have made it. She'd have died. She'd already lost like 2.5 pints of blood when she got it. By the time they hooked her up, she was already 3 pints down and falling. And it ruptured some kind of major artery. And then I seen her 2 days after that because we were up on the coast before we came home. And she calls me. She's crying. She's freaking out. She said, God, thank you. God, thank you. God, be dead. Yet she said, if I don't went to a concert and there's no way she never got off the floor before she bled to death. And it was insane. And we've seen other weird stuff like that. What's that, Denise? No, it's just sometimes you happen to see stuff. Sometimes you see stuff. And if it's your duty, if you see it, to at least tell somebody. Well, because you see good things, you see bad things, you see pineapple things, you see all kinds of things. You see Donald Trump, next president of the United States. Go Donald, go Donald. Oh, wait a minute now. Switching total topics. So I heard Condoleezza Rice the other day. Ooh, baby.
She gonna run?
I'm in love with this woman. I'm in love with this woman. I would bow at her altar anytime. Condi. What do you mean, Frank? Condoleezza was she worked for George W. for both terms. She's a goddess. She's a black woman, yes, extremely intelligent. She made a lot of money for the NFL. She made a lot of money for the hockey league. She makes a lot of money for anybody she works for. But she was George Bush's go-to woman who took care of everything, and she was trained by Darth Cheney. So not only is she beautiful and strong and knows her shit, she's also fearless. So she would be the best president. She'd have been the best president in the last 30 years if she got in freaking office.
She could have killed two birds with one stone.
So I wonder if she runs in the next election, can Donald Trump be her vice president? No, he'd be too old.
You can be vice president many times as you want.
But he'd be too old. But I mean, after you be president, will they let you be vice president?
Yeah. You can be vice president. Yeah, absolutely.
He'd be what? He's 78, 78. Now he'd be 82 when he gets out of office.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Johnny? You think he's going to be like Biden when he gets out of office? I don't know my name. Putin. No, I think he'll do.
Do you think future generations are even going to care about voting?
Yes, they have to.
Now they are. They are.
Once if anyone hasn't voted ever in their life and saw this debate, that this is crucial for them. So
yes, the youngins are actually out there voting right now. They're getting out. They're picking sides and choosing sides.
Now. Yes.
I heard Fetterman up there sucking Biden's, butt.
Yeah, it sounds like he flipped back over to the other side of the fence again.
Oh, I love you, Biden. Please have my babies. That's what he sounded like. I was like, God, dude, you're sicko.
Well, they probably told him. They told him to do that.
No, he said it was because, he had that stroke before he was that bait he lost to Oz. But I'm thinking, stroke is different. You've already, you had the stroke and people felt sorry for you.
Yeah,
nobody really feels sorry for Biden because, I mean, he shouldn't be in the White House.
There's a difference between a physical impairment and a mental impairment. And
he should be at home in the garage petting his Corvette. Go pet your green Corvette, Biden. I love my Corvette. What's that, Christopher? No, what do you mean? I don't hate anybody. So I just don't like the fact that Biden's the guy in control of my country who don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, and he has the football. The football is what keeps the nuclear codes in it. Yes, no, he don't. So people don't understand this. So for 90 days, the president of the United States can just flat out declare war and do whatever means he thinks is necessary against any type of retaliation whatsoever. Yes, he can. That's the president's right. And then Congress in that 90 days has to ratify it or say, stop what you're doing.
Right.
But what would be the outcome if either of them, one or the other with the Russia war, Russia-Ukraine? What would be the outcome if Biden or if Trump succeeded?
Well, if Biden gets a second term, more than likely Russia's going to use a nuke in Kiev. They're going to just nuke them. They're going to say this is enough of this, and the whole world's going to get pissed, but they're not going to care. If Trump gets in, more than likely within 6 months or maybe even sooner, the war will be over. Trump actually
said at the debate, but if he gets elected before January 20th, before he gets sworn in, he'll have the Ukraine thing taken care of, and there's a hostage somewhere he'd get back that's been held for years.
What about the Israel-Gaza conflict? What would be the outcome with either?
He said wipe out all the Israelis and kick them out. Mow it down. He said go in there with a bulldozer and mow the whole city there. And be done with it.
Who said that?
That's not what he said.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that, Leah.
That's what he was thinking, though, man. That's what he was thinking. It doesn't matter. Have you seen the Gaza Strip? It's a wasteland.
It's a desert.
Who's going to put a stop to it?
Nobody. Until they get back the hostages, nobody can put a stop to it. Hamas is the one keeping this going on.
And I don't think Trump said anything directly about what he would do about that, but he did say something about if it was under his watch, that there wouldn't be any happen. But if there were, he'd get them out. So I mean, that sounds like boots on the ground.
So currently, there was 120 hostages still being held. 40 are now confirmed dead by Hamas. So that leaves 85, which 5 of them are Americans. At least 80, and 5 of which are Americans, 75 is Israelis. Some of them are still women and children. Some of the ones that died were women and children. So the Israelis are not going to stop. You can't go around crushing babies' heads in and killing teenagers, and they're not going to stop. And the Palestinians could stop it because the Palestinians have the ability to overwhelm Hamas. They just won't do it. They just won't. I mean, they're letting them use their schools and hospitals as places to put their people at. And everybody's like, well, they ain't got to.
Hamas's method of operations, their standard method of operation is when they're in a defensive position, they use civilians as shields, so they don't get shot.
They don't give a shit. I mean, these are people who walked in, stomped a baby to death by crushing its head and then set it afire. I mean, these are sick people, and not just one. I mean, I think there was 75 or 100 of them. And then they went and shot up a concert with nothing but 13, 14, and 15-year-old kids and killed another 100 of them there. So Israel's a piss. It's like a blood feud now. They got to burn it out. And until they give back their people, Hamas will end up giving them back dead or say they're all dead.
Who was there first, the Israelis or the Palestinians?
That's a good argument. It
probably the Palestinians, but
well, it depends how you want to argue it. If you want to say it was when
the point is moot, though. The land was subdued by NATO at the end of World War II, or what would become NATO, and that land was gifted to the Israelis because the Israelis that were supplanted there were the ones that came from Germany that were on their way to the ovens to be cooked in gas.
But it was a country when Jesus was there. The Jews lived there, and Romans ran it, but the Jews already lived there long before the Palestinians did. They basically were taking their country back is what they were doing. People always say, oh, well, they just got a country. No, they were actually taking their country back is what they were doing. And they should take more of the area back because their country was actually bigger than that. And they did at one point with the 7-Day War. And then America and some of their allies said, no, bad. You got to give Egypt and Saudi Arabia and all them people back their land. Because Israelis went on a crazy vengeance, and that's where they are right now. They're in a blood. It's when you walk in. Isn't there a
more like humane way to fight? To argue.
Nope.
Isn't there something like? Couldn't they just like sit down and play a game of chess?
Hamas won't come to the table. Joe Biden was talking about that on the debate. He's offered them to come. He's offered a ceasefire to get the hostages back, and Hamas won't come to the table. So Israel is going to keep going until they clear out.
Wasn't there like down in?
Here's my question to you, Joe. When Trump gets in, will Hamas go to that table?
More than likely, because Trump will probably do something different. Trump will probably order hits outside of Israel where we think Hamas groups are. He'll probably start ordering American strikes, and that'll be because as long as they've got our hostages, we have the right to blow the living shit out of them. So, and they do. So Trump will probably start ordering them. Once Hamas takes enough beating and enough losses, they'll come to the table, or they'll die, whichever.
Or they'll get eliminated.
Israel is beating up on them, but it's a big group, and they're well funded by Iran.
They're well hidden. I mean, they're like cockroaches. They're dug in.
Damn, that's kind of racist, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
They kind of look like cockroaches. With their sandy jackets on and stuff, buffing out and stuff.
Okay, we're getting banned for 2 weeks.
Yeah, YouTube just said,
better put that on private.
YouTube can bite my lefty.
I should probably stop bringing this topic up.
What's that, Francisca? Sorry, I apologize. Wait, you love watching American Pop? Where are you from? Where? Oh, Venice. Hey, Venice, Italy. I got friends in. Well, it's what, like 6 a.m. or something over there, 5 a.m. Well, I got friends in Italy right now traveling. Yeah, I have friends in Italy and France traveling right now. Lucky bastards. And they were giving me shit, and I said, look around while you're over there, especially if you're around Tuscany. My last name's all over the place. I'm like, what? You own the place? I said, no, just look around. So I get a text earlier this afternoon. Your name really is all over the place. I said, yeah, it's my last name. I said, there's quite a few of us running around back in the day, little towns and villages and shit. So you like listening to our politics? Well, Americans are just like any other. Well, they're not as fun as watching the Brits. Oh no!
Oh my
Brits
God!
get out there with shoes and
They
throw them at
lose
each
their
other, pound on
minds in
shit.
their parliament.
They
Good
scream and their
God.
hair stands up. Oh no, God! Congress is so boring compared to that. Then you watch Congress, you're like, oh Jesus! Somebody get excited. Oh, I did see AOC and Nancy Pelosi bugging it out. All the things say Nancy won though. I haven't heard it though, so I don't know. But AOC was saying some more stupid shit, and Nancy had to tell her, you are a dumb little girl. Probably not how she said it, but close enough. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. That's. Oh no, I got to be nice because that's Leah's. Yeah, no, that's Leah's stepmom. I thought y'all knew that.
He owes me some.
You're screwed, man. Joe, where are you at, man? Where are you at?
No, really, that's her
By saying
stepmom. She's a bitch, a wicked one at that too.
Oh my God, Leah.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
what can you do?
Dude, I could see the fire in Leah's eyes right now. I could see the two
Said she
veins.
wish her stepmom as rich as that bitch
I
is.
see the two veins popping out of her forehead right now.
That's some alien veins. What's that, Kirby? No, we're gonna get to the polls in a little bit. Yeah, in a couple of minutes. About 10, 15 minutes. I think Trump did well. I mean, Biden wasn't completely horrible. There was moments of lucidity and 30 or 40 moments where he was, I'm Biden.
Yeah, but
Screw at me, you lying.
If you look at his face, at certain points when he was lucid, he actually looked more pissed. So there was a poll that I forget which news it was that I was watching that said that the Democrats, 85% of them would prefer Biden to be aggressive at this debate, which he was. But I don't think they said they wanted him to look mean. He looked like pissed off when he was talking.
Well, see, here's what I found out there, Jay, is that whoever was handling Biden, they wanted him to piss Trump off so he can go out on a rage. You know what I mean?
But he stayed calm, and then it was
and that backfired in their asses.
75%
People with Alzheimer's and dementia
of
get
the
angry.
Republicans wanted wanted Trump to stay calm, which I think he did. He just to have some goofy expressions and stuff, but Trump was way better at time management. I mean, he was able to, finish answering a question, the previous question, and a new question, and then answer that question. And then sometimes they had to remind him what they asked him to answer in the second question, but he was able to answer two questions within his time limit sometimes. So the time management was much better on the Trump side than it was on the Biden side.
Yeah. See, I'm seeing
I
more
can't
and more.
comment. I refuse to watch that crap.
Well, I'm getting more and more of if they try to replace him, they're going to have to replace her with Kamala Harris. She's got the better polling numbers. It's Biden admits that he had a bad debate, but he says just a one time. Let's go again.
He said at a rally, he was all again angry and pissed off looking. He said, "If you get knocked down, you get back up." And the crowd's like, "Yay, whatever."
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. What's this? Wait, what am I reading here? Beijing has accused NATO of nuclear blackmail. Oh, we must be getting ready to plant some of these B-2 bombers over there. We're going to park them on that side of the planet. Oh, shit.
What the hell is trying to think we have been doing to Europe for the last 100 years? We've had troops since World War II in almost every country in Europe, including nuclear weapons, for a very long time.
Yeah. They, we're putting more warheads over there, too. They said NATO told China, as long as you're developing nuclear weapons, we will keep adding nuclear weapons to the theater. So it's up to you. You stop, we stop. You keep going, we keep going. Yeah, so I guess they're just going to annihilate that whole part of the world. I don't live over there. Scientists discover alien megastructure. Man, I have seen these now. I can't tell you how many times.
Sphere?
Where?
It's they just keep coming up. It's like they're finding stuff in space that's not supposed to be there. But this stupid James Webb telescope is working way better than they thought it was going to work. It's causing issues.
I saw a blurb on one of the news thingies that the James Webb telescope has found some. And it said specifically objects over the red eye storm on Jupiter. How about that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Objects over the storm, like not moons.
I've actually heard stuff before over there, like they're drawing energy or something. They said this is either a Type 2 or a Type 3 civilization that built this. What's that? So Jamie, I'm sorry, Jimmy. A Type 1's capable of harnessing all energy available on its home planet. Earth is not even a Type 1 yet. No, we're not.
Barely 0.75 even.
So Type 2 is able to capture the total energy output of its host star. A Type 3 can control all energy on a scale of its own entire galaxy. That's a serious civilization. I say don't screw with them. And then here's another article again, of course, about at least 7 stars in our galaxy have potential to harbor advanced alien technology, Dyson spheres. So they're starting to put these all over, and they're finding them now in different locations. I don't know what to tell you, people.
We are not alone.
There be aliens out there, and they seem to be some advanced aliens out there. So,
did anybody see anything about a giant crop circle that like popped up that was like in the shape of a mandala type deal?
I haven't seen it. If it's been up, I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen several.
Don't mean it won't. It don't mean it won't come across somewhere though.
I just saw it on like Reddit the other day.
Let's see what this is. I'll have to keep an eye out for it because that kind of stuff just pops across your computers. What's that? You're not happy with the Supreme Court? I'm mostly happy. The Supreme Court has only voted on split votes this year 11 times. It's the majority's been quite good. Yeah, they've been voting pretty good. You mean this immune thing? I don't know if they're going to get it, if he's going to get it or not. He may get some variety of it that'll protect him for what's going on, but not full immunity. I don't know how you do full immunity because if you committed treason, then how would you prosecute someone? Or maybe that would be an exception. It's a tough thing. Xi Jinping announces radical reform after purging top military officials. Man, he's been firing military people all over the place. Yeah,
generals, is he?
Yeah, he's been firing a lot of them the last couple of weeks. He must be.
So he's trying to find and or promote the right general to say, okay, let's attack America.
Oh, I think there might have been a prospective coup going on. He's not been all in the best shape over there lately.
No, he don't look good either. You're right, Joe. He don't look good at all.
Yeah, he's kind of weak right now. We'll just have to wait and see. What's this? Boeing breaks ground on new advanced air combat facility. Well, that's cool. Newsom fumes on undecided voters ahead of CNN presidential debate. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. You, Newsom, calm down, dude. You give yourself a stroke, then you can't even run for president.
There was a Google Earth article that I saw. I didn't read it. I should have read it, but I just glanced at it at work. That apparently a Google Maps photograph has blown the cover off of a Navy top secret. What they called it the Manta Ray. It looked like a plane submarine. A submarine that it could fly, maybe, but it was just at the surface of the ocean, and like there was one wingtip coming out, or one like vertical wing surface, control surface coming out of the water, and this manta ray looking thing underneath the rest of it was pretty cool, but I don't know how real it is. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes they are. You think they're not real, and they are, and sometimes you think they are, and they're not. Well,
then they announced recently, though, and we talked about on the show that they were going to work on basically like the helicarrier from Avengers, a flying aircraft carrier.
So I want to talk about that in a second. But Russia wants to direct conflict with NATO to destroy U.S. drones. That's dangerous, Putin. The Navy announced no more new aircraft carriers. It's the end of an era.
Oh.
They said
I don't believe that.
That's what they said. With the new technologies coming out, our aircraft carrier will not be as desirable as it used to be.
You got a stealth command cruiser and or battle cruiser, battle boat with one rail gun on it, or maybe two rail guns, one facing in each direction, forward and aft, and boom, you have superior.
Well, the Navy said with the amount of harbor bases they have with airports now, that they could really just start keeping their, like the Air Force, keeping their jets parked on land bases instead of out on carriers. I don't know. I hate to see them go. I'm a big fan of carrier because I served on a carrier. So
me too, Joe.
You know, I hate if they go. I don't want to see them go, Mike. The carrier was a great learning place. That's all I can tell you.
And one of the most phenomenal feats of engineering ever created. I mean, they took basically the medieval catapult, put it on a boat,
and launched jets with it.
Boom! There you go. Yeah, exactly right. It's a ballista for the ocean that launches planes at people.
Netanyahu gets a wake-up call from the families of Israeli hostages. Yeah, why don't you get them back yet, you blankety blank 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 person? Biden acknowledges weak debate. I already read that. Let's see. Supreme Court January 6th ruling expected to ripple through rioters' cases. NBC. Yes. And this NBC was, when I read them earlier today, they were just all but crying in their soup.
Oh.
It was bad. I mean, it was bad.
I
did like what Trump said about the Ukraine and the $200 billion. Go ahead, man.
I do have a good after debate story. So right after the debate, I watched the debate with CBS News, and then I had NBC and CBS or ABC on standby in case, commercials. And my broadcast kind of sputtered out in the middle of it because I'm watching on like a Roku stick. But every news service, CBS, ABC, and NBC, all of them said Trump was a liar. None of them said anything about Trump calling Biden a liar, which he did repeatedly.
Yeah,
really strange that all three of the major networks called Trump a liar.
But they didn't have a choice because Biden lost. I mean, they really just didn't have a choice. What were they going to do? It was
they have to save face somehow.
That's exactly how I was like, wow, they're really trying to paint it around the other way that Biden didn't flounder.
At this point, even they are kind of like, look, we're screwed. What are we going to do? And they're thinking they're going to have to go with Kamala Harris, even though they want,
no,
even though they want what's his face more.
We're asking for somebody to work memory care.
Let's see. We'll get to those polls in a minute. Where's these other polls I just had out? Where we got here? 24 election live update. Biden defends debate performance. Trump mocks him at, I was going to say Virginia rally. Oh, man. No, shit. Let's see. Oh, wait, see. Let's go on over by CNN, catch what they got to say. Let's see who they're trying to say. Last night I seen a poll trying to say that Biden won. I had to start laughing.
What?
After reading the comments.
Yet.
No, won the debate.
Oh, won the debate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. God. There's no way.
Do you think you will perform best president? Wait, what? Who knows, people? Y'all don't even know how to write a question down. CNN, come on, CNN. Let's put the truth out. Let's put the truth out. The five weirdest
last night. They did last night.
Contenders for I bet you they did. Biden freezing on stage during debate. Fire on social media. MSNBC, Fox News agree. Viewers lost the presidential debate. What?
I fully think Biden lost. I mean, Trump didn't. For one thing, he didn't get Trumpy. He didn't get all out of whack, and he did cause Biden to stammer a few times.
Yes, let's see.
So,
I love the way they try to word things and make it sound like Joe Biden was doing good, but even they eventually have to admit he lost, and he lost.
Like you said, there were a few questions he answered fairly well, and like it was
They were.
early on before it got dirty and he got mean and angry. He had a few good answers, but then he started losing his trains of thought in a couple of questions, and then when Trump said something, and then Biden tried to answer that, he started off going, he was completely flustered.
Okay,
I don't
well,
think
Trump
he was properly.
Trump is up. With Kennedy, he's ahead in New York, 46-44.
Wow.
Oh shit, he could win New York, people. Oh my God, the Democrats might go jump off a bridge somewhere. Yell out, Democrats! I got an idea. Y'all should all move to California. Every one of y'all.
See how Pennsylvania is after this debate.
Let's see,
They
Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Trump is up by 2. Michigan, Trump is up by 2. Pennsylvania, Trump is up by 2. Nevada, Trump is up by 4. These are all swing states, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Arizona, he is up by 2. Georgia, he is up by 5. North Carolina, he is up by 5. So in all 7 of the swing states, Trump is not only winning, but he's winning pretty big.
Yeah.
The black vote has gone up to 31%. I don't know what to tell y'all. Explore electoral now. Wait. So they're trying to say right now that Biden has 226 electoral votes and Trump has 219. But what they're doing is this was at the same time in 2020, people. At the moment, Biden has 226 electoral votes and Trump has 312.
All right, for this year.
For this year, yeah.
Yeah, if the election were held today, Biden would lose just on that alone, if those polls are accurate.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. I think I asked this question a long time ago. Okay, so say like Trump makes a sweep, even before half of the states are in with their votes and he wins. Is the election over with?
Wait. Hold on. What you say that again?
Okay.
For some reason I lost that.
All right, so say like...
Yeah, you froze up a little.
Okay, so Trump wins before all states are pulled in, for the thing. Does the election stop right there? And
no, they still got to count everything. But if he's got the electoral wins, he's the next president of the United States. The other stuff is just stuff they're going to count out to finish out. Once you break the 270 margin, there's no way for the other opponent to catch it.
Okay.
You've won the presidency, and right now he's polling pretty high ahead of Joe Biden, almost 70 points. So that's a big gap to make up. And then they've been putting out new stuff, thinking that the swing states are actually higher than what's being said. So I don't know. Let's see. Survey USA, Trump is up by 2. The Ledger, New York Post, Trump is up by 7. The New York Times and CNN, Trump is up by 3. The Ledger, June 22nd, Biden's up by 2. Quinnipiac, Trump is up by 4. McClellan Associates, Trump's up by 2. Trump's up by 2. Trump's up by 2. Trump's up by 1. Trump's up by 1. So all these polls, with the exception of one, have Trump ahead. I don't know, people. Let's see. Here we go. How do you average change? Let's see. And they try to fiddle with things, but anyway it goes, it comes up. When they add Kennedy in, Trump's lead even goes up more.
Yeah. So, Kennedy is definitely he's going to siphon. He's going to siphon votes from both sides, but I think he's going to siphon more from the Democrats than he is from the Republicans.
What's this, Jack? What you sent me? Oh, Trump beat Harris. All right, we'll take a look at it. Let's see. Let's see. What are the odds of Trump beating Harris? Pretty good. Yeah. Harris is at 41, and Trump is at 49.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they got Trump. I'm sorry, Trump. Harris is at 39. Jesus. Yeah. So yeah, y'all put her up. We don't care. Feel free, man. I mean, that's why it's a free nation.
Well,
Donald
I
Trump's
think that guy that asked the question when he was asked why is Biden the best choice for the Democrats, and the guy said, "Who else is there?" Maybe he's right. Maybe they don't have anybody that's worth putting up.
Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God! I'll have to commit suicide.
Yeah. She has no chance from the last few years of fiascos with her. Her political career is done.
This article is reading about, it said between the 34 counts he was charged with and this debate tonight, he has gained an average of 7 points over Biden. Whether everybody wants to admit it or not, that's where he's sitting at about right now.
I said after he was convicted, on the very show after he got that conviction notice, I said his points are going to go up. His numbers are going to go up by 5 points easily by the end of the week, and they have.
What's that, Michael? No, he's killing in the polls. He's killing Harris. He murderizes. What's his name? I think it's like 50-30 or something. Yeah, the guy from California, he murderizes. Yes. And then you see stuff like this: worrisome poll for Trump, for Donald Trump. For what? From everything we see, he's kicking ass.
But yeah, what worrisome poll? Some false lie you guys put up? Come on.
Nearly 6 in 10 Americans said it's a bad thing that Trump's running again. Really? Then why is he doing so well?
Yeah. Hey, how about Politico, Joe?
Actually, Politico, even though they are the worst liberal piece of crap ever to exist on the planet, well, not quite the worst, but they're in the top 10 for sure. They have Trump winning. They were freaking out when I read them today. Yes.
Did you see the headline, Jay, on Politico? It said Biden is toast. That was their major headline. Biden is toast.
The 538 polling company has Biden listed as poor and Trump just listed as average, his average performance. It's hard to have a good performance off of somebody that, is sucking. Let's see.
But you also
who won the debate.
With Trump, he has the better stage presence anyway because he's been groomed from.
But I looked at the polls for 2020. Biden beat him pretty handily in 2 of the 3. And but see, right now, they said who won the debate last night. 61% of America says Trump, and 20% of America says Biden.
Yeah.
So that poll is definitely
so clearly 20% of Americans are delusional.
Yes. And let's see, 60% of America gave Biden an unfavorable rating. His rating was 39.97 before and after. Whatever. You're not gonna have the same rating. Not if 60% of the country said you had a bad rating. Oh, wait. So they're saying both Trump and Biden had a 60% unfavorable rating.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think just as many people dislike Trump as they dislike Biden, but they don't care about the disliking part because they're paying less under Trump than they will under Biden. So, I mean, I don't care for the man either, but if I'm going to pay $5 for gas, he's clearly the best candidate.
Michael, I was only paying about $1.29 down here for gas when he was president. 99 cents for bread.
Like $1.39 here.
We're paying $1.98, $1.97 here in Pennsylvania.
$1.40 here in Waynesboro.
NBC, sorry to say, Donald Trump lost severely. That was very poor last night. Currently,
they said Donald Trump lost severely. Who said that?
No, Biden did. I'm sorry. I was looking at something they said about Trump, but that's what they said. They're saying now that he may have even pulled ahead in Virginia.
Trump?
Yeah, because they were tied in Virginia. Actually, no, Carol. We're just getting ready to go over the polling thing. That was actually just stuff from the debate. Yeah, that's what I was doing right there. This should be the polling stuff over here. But Politico, he was just talking. Mr. Strong was just talking about Politico. Let's see what Politico's got to say. Presidential election, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Wait a minute now. Oh, this is just delegates that are won. We don't care about that. Come on, people. Don't try to pull some y'all don't want to say nothing to y'all. Trump has sowed doubt in the election for more than a decade. Whatever. People, that's not going to help you anytime. New York Times editorial board calls Biden to drop out. Nope. Biden staffer is seen to claim nervous donor after dismal debate performance. Dismal.
Dismal is a good word.
How Trump played a key role in Biden's debate disaster. Oh, well, that's cool. Trump will take the blame. I'm sure Trump don't mind.
Oh, isn't
What's
that
the matter,
point?
Politico? Don't.
Ahead.
Politico don't want to put up no numbers, big scary girls that they are. Oh, they'll put them up for everybody but the presidential election. Oh, y'all cowards. Yes, some of y'all are just cowards. It's not me. I would have put the numbers up. CNN, Biden, shit, I can't even say it. Anyway, Biden unequivocally lost the debate.
Unequivocally.
Yeah, unequivocally lost the debate. He's. We hate to agree with all the rest of the Democrats out there, but it was just a sad debate for President Biden. And I love this one. Biden's poor debate performance overshadows Trump's lies. What do y'all think? Biden didn't lie any? I mean, it always amazes me when they say stuff like that because your candidate's lying too. I mean, have some backbone and actually say, what's that? What's your name? Hanrisa? I know I'm saying it wrong. You love America? I love America too. Are you illegal, man? Did you come here illegally? Did you? Oh, a long time ago, you're a citizen now? Oh, no, I don't care. Yes, well, I think everybody should be a citizen. You get better benefits that way. So you were told in the very beginning that you should always vote liberals, and then you found out the liberals are the evil party, and they don't represent God and Christians. That's the Republicans. Well, there you go. Blue cities are a disaster. I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. Well, I'll listen to. No, blue cities are just that. All I can recommend you to do is move to a better city, but don't bring your bullshit with you. Yeah, that's all I can tell you. Yeah, no, seriously. If you really want to be, there's lots of safe cities in the United States. You're just not going to find them in blue cities. They're just not safe cities. All right, Carolyn, let's go see. Thank you for sending me this. So, national poll, Trump is now up by 2.5 points on the 270. He is winning. Oh, shit, he's winning New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, it's 19% undecided, but he's winning New Jersey now. He's 34 points ahead in North Carolina. In Texas, he's 7 points ahead. He should be better than that. Wisconsin, he is 2 points ahead. Georgia, he is 5 points ahead. Nevada, he is 4 points ahead. Rhode Island, Biden's winning Rhode Island. He's winning Maryland. Arizona, Trump is now 5 points ahead.
Wait, Missouri, you said he's winning Maryland?
No, Trump's not winning Maryland. Biden is.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, he's winning. Michigan, he's winning. Minnesota, he's only losing by 2 points. New York, it is now 44-46. Holy crap. He is 2 points off the win. He is 4 points up in Pennsylvania. He is now catching the New Mexico almost to a tie. Florida, he's up by 6 points. Idaho, he's up by 18 points. He's up by 5 points in North Carolina. California, he is still sitting at 31%.
Wow.
He is now 1 point ahead in Virginia. He is 1 point ahead in Maine. He is 32 points ahead in Utah. He is now 7.5 points ahead in Ohio. Michigan, he is down by 25 points. Washington, he is down by 12 points. New Hampshire, he is down by 3 points. South Dakota, he is up by 20 points. Tennessee's 18. Louisiana's 15. Colorado, he's down by 10. You Colorado people just weird me out. Alaska, he's up by 12. Indiana, he's up by 21. Montana, he's up by 21. Maine, he's up by 20. Southern Carolina, he's up by 16. Wyoming, he's up by 53. Arkansas is up by 33. Illinois, he's down by 9. Nebraska, he's up by 16. West Virginia, he's up by 36. Kansas, he's up by 16. Idaho, he's up by 29. Oklahoma, and God, he's just killing them.
Maybe which states is Trump not ahead in?
All right, I'm gonna give them to you right now. So remember, there's 50 states in the union, people. So he is not ahead in Illinois. So that's one. He's not ahead in Maine District 1, so that's 2. Because there's like 3 districts in Maine, by the way. He's not ahead in Colorado. That's 3. He's not ahead in Massachusetts or Washington. That's 5. Or New Hampshire, that's 6. Virginia, he's not ahead. Virginia, no, Maine, Utah, Ohio. Nope, he's not ahead in any of those. Let's see. California makes 7.
Oregon.
Let's see. Where are we here? Minnesota makes 8. New York makes 9. And let's see.
What about Oregon?
Maryland makes 10. I'm looking for. Rhode Island makes 11. Let me go back and find Oregon. Right now, there's only 11 states he's up in. Why not? Did I not see Oregon? You know what? They don't have Oregon on here.
No.
I wonder why not. Because it's obviously blue. I see it over there.
Aren't they going through where they want to be part of Idaho? There's a certain part of Oregon that wants to be affiliated with Idaho.
God only knows. There's so much state stuff like that wants to transfer around.
Even though we don't have Oregon, let's just call it 12. 12 states.
No, Oregon by 8. I found it on the map. I went and looked at it on the map.
So he's not up in Oregon either.
Yeah, so no. Trump's losing 8 states. 12 states.
12 states. So
yeah,
that means 30. So if any president ever in the entire history of presidents were to win 38 states, what does that mean?
It's a fucking landslide, is what that means.
They've got it, hand and foot.
I don't know, but it is crazy. He's ahead in all the swing states, guys. Yeah. See, on this map, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
It really is a shame that it boils down to 7 states that really decide the outcome.
Yeah. What's up right now on this one? It's Democrats at 226, Republicans at 235, 270 to go. Republicans have another 35, that's 270. Democrats have another 44, that is 260. Yeah. Well, no, it's actually better than that because they're not showing all. So you got 16, 19, that's 31, and 25 is what? 56, 67, 73, 73, and I missed one somewhere. 80 points. So yeah, he's way over. He's way over. Unless something changes, which we still have 4 months, I'm not gonna say it's not possible that it won't change. But as it is right now, Trump is winning handedly in all of the polls. Yes, handedly in all of the polls. Well, no,
Well,
we've already talked about
let me
it.
ask you guys this. Let me ask you now, since CNN knows that Biden screwed up and lost it, think they'll turn over to Trump, or do you think they'll still try to get him?
Wait, say that again.
Okay.
I
Do,
didn't
do you
register my
think
head.
do you think CNN will lay back on trying to destroy Trump?
I don't know. Probably not. They're probably panicking like Biden's team is. You know, they're in damage control mode right now. Anyone who wants Biden, they're in damage control right now. They
Well,
have
well,
to fix that.
well, think about it, Dave. Right? They all admitted yesterday how they felt about how Biden did on that debate there. How can they come back a week later and say, Biden's going to win? How can you do that? You'd be, you know,
Well, that's what
shooting
I'm saying.
yourself.
They're all in panic mode right now because of the debacle of this debate. I mean, it was bad for them. It seems. I mean, worse. I didn't think it was that bad, but it seems that it's his loss is bigger than expected.
And that goes for MSNBC too, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, MSNBC will never do nothing but liberal. That's who they are. You never get them to change from where they are liberal-wise.
Even the women on the View are bawling their eyes out.
Oh, I bet you. Well, I wish I had seen the View. I could see him there. Oh my God! It's this. Oh my God! Trump's going to be president again. Yes, Jack. We actually talked about this. You don't turn your back. Newsom definitely pushes back on, calls Biden, calls out people that are talking on Biden. I don't know. When you come down to it, Newsom's got a handful in California. Does he really want to be president? I mean, because if he's a disaster his first term, he's out, and he not only he's going to have to give up his place as the governor of California, which he's got a couple of years left as, to be president. To run. I don't know. Do you risk it? Because even if he wins, he's a disaster. He'll never run for anything else. And it's a good possibility.
It'll kill his political career.
Yeah, because when you look what he's done in California, he's pretty much going to be a disaster. What's that, Frank? Oh, yeah, he'll be a disaster. I have no doubt about that. He looks pretty. Leah's got a crush on him, but
honestly, every time I see Gavin Newsom or Ron DeSantis, surprisingly, they both look like they just got done crying.
Well, Ron may have actually got done crying because he's got issues and his wife's sick, but oh yeah, they're gonna and which Trump I guess didn't know, they're throwing all of the immigrants out of the Logan Airport in Boston. They're just kicking them out on the streets and getting out. You can't stay here anymore. Can't live in the airport. Get the hell out.
Wow.
Hezbollah has the weapons to carry out its threats on Cyprus. You're gonna go start a war at Cyprus. Cyprus is gonna come over there and kill y'all. I mean, really, sometimes. I can't remember. The Kelly Evans woman said she was so happy when the debate was over. It was just horrible. Let's see. What is Vladimir saying? Vladimir Putin's latest escalation has hit far too close to home. Look, Putin, we're going to kill you, dude. You better stop it.
What did he do?
Just threaten nukes on the United States again.
Oh, geez.
Because we won't stop sending stuff that can get in. See, without American equipment, there is no striking inside of Russia.
Yeah.
But we're giving them equipment that can, and now we're going to give them F-16s. We're not actually giving them any of this shit. Somebody else is, but it's still our equipment.
Yes.
Here are China's most important export partners, and the U.S. is number 3. Who's number 1? I don't know. Who could be number 1?
Home Depot?
India?
I doubt it. India hates them. China's the world's largest. It went somewhere else. I guess we're not going to get to see that. So, nope, get out of here. Who could it be? Well, the U.S. is not buying near as much stuff as they used to from them. And thanks to COVID, we're not real trusting of them anymore. And then just recently, our government put out a warning against the Wuhan lab that it could have, it could be prone to leaking and letting viruses outside. I'm like, really? And why haven't we just wiped that thing out? Let's go drop a little mini nuke on it. That's what I say. Be done with that shit.
I agree.
What do you mean, Phil? No, man. Look at the shit that lab called last time when COVID got out. Oh no, dude, you can't say that anymore. It's pretty much a given that that's where it came from. Oh yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much a given. Yeah. Let's see. Russia freaked U.S. Navy surfaced an Ohio-Class submarine as a warning. They didn't even know it was there.
And
just popped up right next to them. They had no idea. They had no idea it was there. Battle rages in North Gaza. Palestinian fighters ambush Israeli troops. So you see now the Palestinians are killing the Israelis. It's not going to stop. I don't think at the rate it's going, it looks like Israel's just going to wipe them all out or kick them all out. Have you all seen the wall? Now I love that. Somebody shows. Let me show you what a wall we need on our border is. So the wall between the Palestinians and Egypt, it is badass. It's like 16 foot tall, razor wire all up and down it. Man, you ain't getting over that wall. Vladimir Putin assassination warning as Russia threatens to explode with anger. Yeah, whatever, people. We're done with that, huh? And everybody keeps asking, how can we get rid of Biden without Biden? And you can't. You have to have Biden step down, and then that means Kamala gets to run because Kamala's not gonna give her shot to be president to Gavin Newsom. It's not gonna happen. Donald Trump crushes Joe Biden in first debate polls. Ooh, crushes. Oh man, I like those words.
Crushing, but
come on, Jay. You know he did. Come on, don't.
I wouldn't describe it as a crushing, but he definitely showed up. I mean, he beat.
Well, they're saying it crushed him in the polls. The survey suggested voters watch the debate. This one's up to 70% believe Trump performed better in Atlanta than Biden did at 30%. Ooh, you're a doggy. National polls, Trump has gone up 3 points in the national polls to a full 4 points ahead of Joe Biden now. Prior to the debate, total of 55% of same voters thought Trump would perform better. 45% said Biden would. Well, I guess y'all were wrong.
Yeah.
It's so I mean, the polls are rough, guys, for Biden. I mean, these polls are rough.
I wonder if they're going to go down 5 points in the next week after all of this.
I believe it. I think they will, Joe. Or even further.
Yeah. I mean, I said the same thing about Trump when he got convicted. He's going to go up 5 points. He went up 5 points. I'll bet you he goes down 5 points. Biden does.
Yeah. SR-72 Mach 5 spy plane that could finally beat the SR-71 Blackbird. Okay. First off, in case y'all noticed, Blackbird could go faster than that. Probably that's some security I shouldn't be giving out.
Yeah.
I know its official speed was 3.5. But
that's the official speed on the specs, but I think it was more like Mach 7.
Well, I seen it come over the Air Force Base in Texas with the nose clunk going. And when I talked to the tech, he said it had to be at least Mach 5, Mach 0.5, maybe Mach 6 to be going right. And he said it was designed for Mach 3.5, so he said it's not going to glow red at 3.5 or even 4. So that plane was a beast. It still flies, yeah. And then this one's going to be even more of a beast. Well, they say this one might be able to go into space.
Yeah, and back, come back in.
They keep finding them stupid obelisks all over the planet. They just find them in random places in the desert, in different places. They found one the other day in some other desert, huh? China calls for bridges amid trade diplomatic friction. Yeah, because we don't want to buy nothing from your ass. Russia poses acute threat to America. People, what kind of acute threat? His boats will get sunk when they try to get over here.
Yeah.
Alicia Fez Griffin, I feel duped by Biden's team. Ooh, that's not good. People are starting to feel like that, huh? The ATACMS struck Russia's newest S-5 Prometheus SAM system reports. Oh, our stuff is shooting down their SAM stuff. Hitchhiking aliens are already traveling between planets. New research suggests. Well, maybe so.
So we're like a thumb ride on the alien backpacking through Europe deal.
What are you talking about, Christopher? It's 4th of July this week. Yeah, where are you been? Yes, it's a holiday. If I remember correctly, the last debate is 2 weeks before the election. So unless Trump is down in the polls, Trump's probably not going to debate.
Or in jail.
Yeah, he could be in jail. So he'd have to debate from the jail.
They might have to hold it from the jail's commissary. Imagine that. First presidential debate in history held from inside.
This is the Hill. Chip Roy says he'll call on Harris to remove Biden under the 25th Amendment. What the hell is the 25th Amendment?
I don't know.
When the 25th Amendment is when they deem that the president can no longer fulfill his duties.
Why hasn't that been brought up before now? Like, why has nobody mentioned that before?
Like I said before, Leah, if they did, their political career is over. Now they have, after last night, they know that they can say it now without them getting.
So first off, she would have to get that ratified through the House and Congress, I would imagine. All that's going to take time. By the time I'm pretty sure by the time they get this done, it'll be almost voting time. Yeah. Because if it has to be ratified by the House and the Senate, the Republicans are not going to ratify it.
Yeah, and you need 2/3 consent.
Yeah, so they'll just be like, well, guess what? You're stuck with him. You put him in there, you stuck with him. Well, you see, that's the thing. The Democrats, once the president's in office, just because he's a Democrat don't mean you can just go in there and remove him. It don't work like that. No, Well, she could go in and say she wanted to take him out with the 25th Amendment, but I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line, Congress is going to have to. I don't think we just let the VP say, you can kick the president out, because that shit would be happening all the time. Come on, what's his name would have kicked Trump out for sure. Pence would have been like, really? I can kick him out and take over? Get out, Trump. I'm taking over, boy.
Argument could have been said they could have tried that with Reagan and his second administration when he started to lose his mind.
Yeah, because around year 6.5, he started getting. Excuse me, he started getting a little whoppy there.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Let's see if I can find it. I see you sent it, but it's not showing.
Oh, off topic a little bit here, guys. Who is this J.D. Vance? That they think that he will really help Trump out as a VP.
I don't know. I never heard of him.
I don't know.
Let's see. Let's see. Biden says, when asked, he's already been asked if he'd step down. He said no. He said, I had one bad debate. Why would I step down? He said, I've done a good job. Black Americans demand to know what black jobs after Trump's debate comment. Trump brought black unemployment to the lowest in history. What are y'all talking about? See, that's the Hill. That's the Hill. That's another one of them. Yeah. So liberals they don't have the capacity to be truthful anymore. Scoot.
Well, I think also people might have missed the point of what Trump said there. What he said was that that because of Biden's policies on the border, that millions of criminals are coming across the border, and at some point they're going to go after jobs. And he said they're going to go after black jobs and Asian jobs and Hispanic jobs. He was classifying the jobs by race, so that people of different cultures would take ownership of the fact that non-citizens are going to take a job away from them and their ability to make money for themselves and put food on their tables.
What's an Asian job?
That's I think that's what the article is about. But that's what Trump said, to the effect that he was trying to evoke more, ownership.
Most of my Asian friends,
we're going to lose jobs to people that have come in illegally with possibly criminal intent to take whatever they're here for.
Schumer says his worst fears come true after debate. Good, Schumer. If anybody deserves some heartbreak, it's you.
What's his worst fear? That he's on the wrong party?
No, that Biden would have a bad debate.
Oh.
Jimmy Lee Furness. What the hell kind of name is that? Where are you? You're in Israel? What are you telling me? So the Israelis are divided on Gaza? I have no doubt about that. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people dying. But just as we read just a little while ago, we found out most Palestinians were killing Israelis. Which was that?
Ask him where he stands or she.
Where do you stand? You just want it to stop. You can't take the Palestinian side because you're an Israeli, but you really aren't happy with what they're doing. I can understand that.
Mm.
Yeah. But I mean, like we were just reading earlier in the show earlier, the Palestinians are back to killing the Israelis. Instead of killing Hamas, which is the ones that caused the problem, they're killing the Israelis. So it's not going to stop. No.
How do you feel about the Palestinian perspective that they're defending themselves against their land being taken from them and used as an Israeli settlement?
What do you think there?
Well, it's an Israeli settlement way before there were Palestinians. So, I mean, I think we answered that question earlier.
Well, I feel like it's just going back and forth. Like, if you want it to stop, somebody's going to have to actually solidify the actual story, like the history of it.
Well, even if you don't do that, if you just think about it like this, the bulk of the world's governments who won World War II said this is where these people are going to be, and only these few countries that live around there have a problem with it. The Israelis have only ever wanted to try to live in peace, except for the 7-Year War. And,
yeah.
But ever since
the Nakba?
They've been bullied since, they're bullied throughout the Bible. They're slaves all the way through most of the Bible.
What's the significance of the Nakba? I've heard that word being used several times.
I'm not sure what it means.
I don't want to hear that. I'm getting ready to go back to Obama. So, I mean, hold on. We got to switch topics for a few minutes. So now, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. After the first debate, Joe Biden's 3 former advisors to Barack Obama have joined growing calls for the Democrats' president to step aside.
Nakba is an ethnic cleansing, Leah.
An ethnic cleansing. Oh, my God.
Ethnic cleansing. I'll read it again. That's the first hit. The Nakba, Arabic, means literally the catastrophe, is the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians through their violent displacement and disposition of land, property, and belongings, etc., etc.
So there's 2 different ways to look at it from what it sounds like.
Yes, of course. But that sounds pretty terrible.
Well, there's only actually you could say there's 2 different ways to look at it, but really there's only one.
Which one is the correct one?
Well, because one is Israelis because they were sitting at home, minding their own business, going to school. They weren't in Gaza. They weren't causing any problems. There was a concert. Their little kids were at their babies were at home, sucking bottles and sucking boobies. And then some guys just walked in and stomped their heads in the ground and burnt them up. And then went over and shot a bunch of kids up and then took a bunch of 200 hostages and killed a bunch of more people walking through the Israeli streets.
Yeah.
You declared war. And until they're done with, you're at war. That war is hell, but that's the truth of the matter. None of this would be going on if Hamas wouldn't have done this. And when is it too much? It's not too much until after the people are dead. Once you kill everybody who was involved with this, then it should end, but not until then. And if you're going to have people in Palestine hiding them, then it's a disaster. And that's what they're doing. They're intentionally hiding Hamas people and helping them to move around the city and stuff, helping them set up ambushes and stuff. So until that stops, the Israelis are never going to stop.
Yeah, and whose voice is it to say what is too much for the Israeli response to what happened? It's not my responsibility. I mean, it's not our country's duty. And it seems that the Biden administration is trying to actually interfere with Netanyahu's administration, on purpose. So none of this is good. What's going on in this area?
And then you got the Ukraine-Russia war still going on too. It's just there's so much. There's, and
I like what Trump said about that. We spent $200 billion in the Ukraine.
Yep.
$200 billion. That's a lot of money.
How much are we in debt in the United States?
34 trillion, I think. Somewhere between, yeah.
But who are we in debt to, Joe? I don't understand that. Who are we in debt to?
Most of the money we're in debt to is ourselves.
Yeah, the bank.
We borrow against the Social Security program.
And the Federal Reserve.
We do sell some of the debt off, but most of the debt.
But yet they want me to pay all my debt off.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's so they can pay their debt off, which they never do. But only one president since I've been alive ever got the debt paid down. That was Clinton. And like he said, he had an advantage because Reagan had already came in and took out all the military stuff, did all kind of spending. So all he was doing was just cutting the things that needed to be cut, closed military bases we didn't need, and he balanced the budget out. But other than that, nobody else has done it. Bush was going to try, baby Bush was going to try, but then they got into a war, so two wars, so baby Bush didn't try.
Yeah, hard to pay down debt when you're fighting people.
Christopher, what do you mean Bush set it up so that there would be a war? Okay, first off, the information about what happened with the Twin Towers was actually the FBI already knew about. So did a couple of the other groups before before Bush was ever a president. Yes, this was on Bill Clinton's watch that these people came into the country. Yeah, the terrorists that came in to cause this were on Bill Clinton's watch, and it was because of a bill that Bill Clinton passed. So they used to let them talk to each other, all the agencies, and then Bill said, no, that was a bad idea. Well, Bush changed that and allowed all the agencies to talk to each other again. Because if they would all been talking to each other, they would probably stop the towers.
Yeah, it could have been stopped.
Yeah, so this falls on the Democrats and Bill Clinton. It doesn't fall on Trump. On Bush. Yeah, And look at him he started out at his presidency first with the Chinese knocking one of our spy planes out of the air and trying to take it all to pieces and the people, where he had to put his foot down and say, you're going to give us our plane back and our people, which they did give us our plane back in boxes, but they still did. Didn't matter, though. All the plane people acknowledged that all their sensitive equipment was destroyed. Then a couple weeks after that, boom, we had 9/11. And I think he'd been president, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, huh? And 9/11 Sunday was 9 months and a couple of days. And and that's how he started his presidency. And at that point, he had an 86% approval rating, 86%, and he kept it almost his entire first term. Yeah, Democrats and Republicans liked him. It was a bipartisan go. We were killing people. We were happy.
Yeah,
we were doing things that we like to do, killing people. Yeah. Maybe one day America has to flex its muscle, or somebody else tried. See, it's what happened. Trump was showing force, so Xi Jinping and Putin was behaving. Biden came in starting. Well, Putin. I remember Putin came on TV and was laughing. I think the U.S. had brought in like 3 transgenders to make generals and colonels at the Pentagon. Putin was just laughing his ass off. That's another thing, basing. It's against the law to hire people based on their sex and their race, and this administration's done it several times, including Kamala Harris. She got the job because she was a woman of color. That's why she got the job.
And they actually
he said it many times. Yeah, he said it many times. The people he was putting up for the Supreme Court, he also said that. It's just, well, the Supreme Court's going to do what the Supreme Court's going to do. It's a conservative Supreme Court, and it's going to do what it wants. People can bitch all they want. They have the right to do what they're there for this, exactly what they're doing. And they're not going to always agree, but well, that's what I was saying. We just were reading the other day that they've been agreeing more than not agreeing. Yeah, it's quite a bit more. Yeah, it's actually become a rare thing when it's a 6-3 to split. It's a good court. They actually listen. So that's why the Democrats have a hard time beating up the court, because people are actually, watching and saying, well, hey, this court's getting along pretty good. The only reason they have any negative press, I mean, their ratings down a little bit, is because of places like CNN and CBS and ABC just nonstop saying, well, they're evil and they're bad and they're doing all kind of bad stuff and they're taking bribes and stuff, which they're not. But, when you say that, people listen to it. Who knows? I just seen somebody scary on the bottom of my screen. There was like a creature. Whoa! Goddamn creature on the bottom of my damn screen scared the crap out of me, man.
Sorry.
Not you. It wasn't you. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about that creature right there. You don't see the creature monster on the bottom of the screen down there?
All I see is me and you, Joe.
No, on the right. Yeah, you don't see the
she can't
creature.
see it. She can't.
Oh, that's right. You're as a guest. Oh well, you can't see the creature. And that is a demon looking on there. Oh my God. What's that, Kirby? Right now he's ahead in all the polls, and as far as a 270 to win, he's well over at 312.
And if you've been watching the show for the past several months, we've been going through these polls. He has been in and has maintained the lead for the last 6, 7, 8 months. And mainly because of all this negative stuff that's happening to him. I mean, the Democrats have won the election for him.
Let's see. Putin conditions regarding Ukraine are not acceptable. Trump writes letter to Putin.
Hey guys, I gotta run. I'm not filming.
Yeah, we're not here much longer. Go on. Thanks for hanging out with us, Sean.
All right, brothers. Good night,
Sean.
everybody.
Be good, baby.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. She's looking kind of rough lately, man.
Who's that?
Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping.
Oh.
Yeah, I just said she didn't. China plans major reforms amid sluggish economy growth, King says, but he's been looking rough, man. He's aging hard.
How old is he?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Why China's Communist Party expelled 2 former defense ministers. Because they say, kill America, please. Say, no, kill America. We starve to death if you kill America, you dumbass. Vlad's nightmare. Tall tale satellite data section. Russia forces are running out of tanks. Russia's running out of tanks. Oh, shit. You know that they struck Space Command in Russia. The Ukrainians knocked out 1/3 of their tracking abilities of all their satellites.
Oh, wow. What
they've been doing is they've been taking out all the air defense, so when they get their F-16s, they can fly in pretty deep. Ukraine, I'm going to tell you this because you're idiots. If you go inside and strike too deep into Russia, he's going to use a nuke on y'all. He's going to use a low-yield tactical nuke, and that's what he's going to do. And the world's going to get pissed, but there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it without starting a nuclear war. I'm just warning you ahead of time. Well, I agree. Russia should quit, but is it going to quit is a whole nother thing. Democrats have a crisis on their hand. This guy's got a big goofy smile on his face. Democrats have a crisis on their hand. Yeah, they do have a crisis on their hand.
He is 71.
Well, that ain't too bad.
Xi Jinping is 71 years old. What? Isn't that how old Trump is? 72?
No, he's old. I think Trump's like 78 or something.
He's 78. Yeah, he's 78. That's right.
Newsom defends Biden over debate. You don't turn your back on your boss. I gotta get
somebody made a point today to me that maybe I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
My phone's freaking out. That maybe the person that should be considered as a candidate to run the country should have started in poverty and worked their way up through the life of being where they're at instead of just having everything handed to them or being the benefactor of some inheritance or something like that, so that way they know what people actually go through in life, and they know what these policies are actually doing to the majority of the people that they represent.
Well, in the older days, the Congress was like that. It was doctors, it was farmers, it was milk drivers and astronauts and race car drivers and just all sorts of people. And now it's like 88% lawyers.
Hey,
So now it just sucks.
one senator used to be Sonny Bono, famous singer.
Yep. I mean, there was just a lot of different things. Some of them were just military people who had got in. It was just way different.
And then what about like somebody a little younger than in their 70s? Like,
well, see, but that's not necessarily a good thing. There is a big advantages to Trump being his age because he knows a lot. See, Obama didn't do good.
Was the youngest president.
You know, both Obama and Baby Bush were young, and neither one of them had a real great presidency. So it's one, being older. Most of the time, the Senate and the House is going to have more respect for you. And two, you generally just know more about life and how things actually work.
Supposedly.
Well, they do. I mean, Biden does. It's just Biden's going crazy. I mean, he sucked as VP for Biden anyway. I mean, for Obama anyway, but he's just a bad politician. Trump's been through a lot and understands how to run businesses and how to generate money and how to make people happy because that's what he was doing for a living. So that kind of fits into being a president. I mean, you don't have to be a politician to be a president. Usually it's actually kind of better if you're just more worldly than a politician. But and that's when it gets to term limitations in the House and the Senate. There should be, 12 years in the House, 12 years in the Senate. That's all you should get to serve in either one. That's 24 years that you can serve in the highest offices in the country. And then you can go be a governor or something like that. And then if you don't like that, you go run for president. But there comes a point when it's just, I mean, some of these people have been in for 40 years. I mean, how long has Nancy Pelosi been in Congress? She's been in the House for, I don't know, 40, 50 years. And she's been a wasting piece of crap the entire time. It's just rough. What's that, Jimmy? What did you send me? Let me see if I can find it. You mean Obama? No, Obama hasn't said nothing about kicking Joe out. No, three of Obama's aides did, but Obama hasn't. No, and Gavin Newsom's come out on Joe Biden's side. He said he doesn't. He thinks that he doesn't think that's right. That everybody's hating on the president because he had a bad. Yeah, well, you can't hurt him. I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Biden had a bad night. I mean, who knows? In 2 months, he might have a good night. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, if Trump even debates him. But I don't know if he's going to or not. Like I said earlier, really going to depend. If Trump's like 3 or 4 points ahead and 2 weeks before the election, he's not going to debate. There's not going to be any reason for it. Yeah, there just won't be.
I'll bet there'll be a second one, but
Well, the second one's scheduled for 2 weeks before the election. That's when the second one's supposed to be.
That's the second one?
That's what they said tonight, 2 weeks before the election. So
wow.
Why, if you're winning, why bother? Why bother? And they're trying to make a big thing out of the abortion thing, but it didn't play big in the country. And they're having that's another thing that the Democrats are having a hard time with. They expected more pushback from abortion, and they're just not getting it. Because now that it belongs to the states.
I mean, but Biden floundered on the question. I mean, he floundered.
Well, it's not even that, though. It's not even that. I mean, with the states having it, it's hard to be hard about it because all the Democrats, blue states, can do whatever they want with abortion.
Yeah.
So that's they're bitching, but that's their states, and their states can do whatever they want abortion, just like the red states can do whatever they want. So everybody's getting what they want. And if you live in a red state and you need an abortion, you can drive to a blue state. Now, some of the red states are talking about if you go to another state, you could find yourself in trouble in your own state. I don't know how that's going to play out in the grand scheme of things. But
well, and Trump was saying that also if Roe v. Wade was still in effect, what could happen is 9-month term abortions would be available, which is seems kind of past the point. if they didn't want to have the baby, they're already at that point that they have the. He said that they could have the babies and then abort the child after that point. So
the New York had been pushing. I don't know if they ever got it passed, but they were pushing to be able to abort the baby up to 3 days after birth. That's murder. I mean, as it is, it's murder. But I mean that's serious murder there.
Yeah,
aborting a baby when it's young and it hasn't really developed or anything, that's different. But
I don't know, man. It's still, to me, it goes back to something to do with their people's souls, like being born into this world and having the ability to have, like, grow into having free will. It has something to do with that. I don't know why.
Everybody should be allowed free will. It's there's so much when you get into abortions. There's just so much more than just the abortion itself. There's father's rights, there's mother's rights, and should there be babies' rights? At what term should there be babies? So, and this is what the real thing is. So, if I walked up to a woman at 2 months and punched her in the stomach and the baby aborted, I'd go to jail for murder. But if she walked into an abortion clinic and had it murdered, it's not the same. Why?
Well,
both things effectively kill the baby.
One of it is like an act of violence. The other one is an act of what is
the other one's still an act of violence. You're still taking that child out in a violent manner. You're cutting it out, or you're sucking it out, or DNC. So it's still violent. It's just not violent to the woman, but it's violent to the baby. So it gets hairy, sticky up in there. What's that, Gene? Well, I'm not a woman. No, I'm a guy. I'm pro father's rights in this, so I'm the wrong person to ask. Well, because I've always had an issue with, okay, mom gets pregnant because of the dad. He wants a kid, she don't. So should the baby be allowed to be aborted if someone's willing to take the child? And then the first thing I always hear, well, it's my body, I should have the right. Okay, that's true, but it's still his child. And if his mom and grandmom are on it too, see, this is what happens. So at first, when you ask a question about abortion to women, they're all pro abortion. And then when you ask the question to a group and you say, well, if this was your son's child and you're the mom and the grandmama, would you be okay with the abortion? Of course, they say no. So it's a double standard. But technically, the father has no rights. But if you have a loving family that the child could go to, then it should be allowed to go there. So then you have to force a woman to have a child, and that's not right either.
So can I give you my personal?
Get in there, spit it in there, spit that shit in there, girl.
I'm gonna divulge some real personal details about my life, right? So I've been on both sides of the fence, and I've been through a situation where I was kind of forced by the other party's family to get an abortion. Like, they beat me up, basically. And anyway, I ended up terminating a pregnancy, and it messed with my head so bad. I had to recover from it, not only physically, but mentally as well. It was one of the most disgusting things I think my body has gone through. I bled gobs of blood. I thought, oh my God, how I thought I was dying for a while, but it was just my body fleshing out, the uterine lining and stuff like that. And I didn't know what I was going through. I was young. It was something that I look back on and was like, I'm never going to do that again. And when I got pregnant for the second time, it was after telling my partner, I've been through an abortion, and it's something that I'll never go through again. So if you he refused, just flat out refused to use protection. And, I went with it too. And lo and behold, I got pregnant. Well, in my mind, I was thinking, when I did get an abortion, it caused a lot of mental anguish for me. I felt like I made the wrong decision. So there was no way I was going to do it again. But now that I've brought a child into this world, I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad that this is the world that I have. This is the world that this young innocent soul is being exposed to. Like being able to shield that child from all of the setbacks and the scary stuff that happens in this life is hard. And I don't know, not everyone is capable of doing that. Not everyone has their facilities, you know. And then you go back to like, well, then you should just keep your legs closed. But we're, you know, human beings, that's human nature. I don't, none of us would be here if it wasn't for somebody, you know, doing the thing.
It's the only way to keep us going. But
Right.
you're not the first one that I've heard said both sides of that coin. You know, one of my friends had an abortion, you know, in her mid-30s, and you know, it messed her up. I mean, not just only physically, because I mean, it physically messes you up, but mentally, she was, you know, a wreck for months. But then the argument on the same other side is like, you know, you bring the child into a world that's, you know, this scary right now. Did you do the right thing? Did you do the wrong thing?
Right. That messes with my head too.
Yeah, but only time will tell. I mean, I think right now we have a better chance of getting things turned around if we get the right person in the office.
That's true too.
Office, I think things are going to get even far worse.
Yeah,
so it's just scary. It feels like there's a lot on the line. It feels like, you know, you have to really, you kind of really have to know what you're doing and have support, have a support system, have a family to.
It's one of the main things that's necessary for life that they don't teach you anywhere. In any public school system, any college system that I know of. And there's maybe some private organizations that do, like, you know, how to, you know, properly care for a newborn baby and so on and so forth like that. And there are those things, but they don't teach those basic skills in school, like how to take care for a baby. They just don't do it anymore. They haven't in years.
Yeah, I mean, well,
they'll teach you how to make one though.
Yeah, they'll teach you how to make one, and there should, for, you know, however many people there are on the planet, there should be, like, you know, they license you to drive a car. They should license you to raise a child.
Insert hot dog into bun. What's that, Chris? It's tough these days. I mean, you mean how many children I have? I have 42 children and 18 wives. Yes. I thought you knew I was a Mormon.
Well, also
42 children, 18 wives.
Abortion, like, it's so it puts the woman on this level of being the villain, being the bad person, and you know, like, if when women are only viable of being fertile for a portion of their adult life before they can't give birth anymore, whereas men can just keep spurting them out.
That's right. Let's throw them bitches out there. Let's have 100 of them.
So men are out there creating more babies than women could ever be capable of. So why couldn't? Why are there no stipulations put on men controlling their output as women are controlling their ability to get pregnant or not?
There is a try at getting a male, not abortion pill. What do you call it? A male
birth control.
Pill.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. So most countries don't want a male birth control because Germany was the first country to come up with male birth control. Their birth rate dropped below acceptable limits because actually, come to find out, men are much more responsible in taking their birth control than women are.
Why?
So if men have the choice,
villainized and criminalized.
It's not that. It's not that. If men have the choice to take a birth control before having sex, they will. It's not always true for a female, because females sometimes use pregnancies for other reasons.
Yeah,
like, you know. So
women
unfortunately,
want to get pregnant.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Biology.
A lot of them do. So by letting men take
all of them, but.
So China started doing this, and China had to quit it because it was seriously it really. So whereas in women it might be 1 in 5, with men it's 5 out of 5. And a lot of them can get the little spike in their arm that lasts for 2 years, and they're like they're fine with it, and it's just different. It's different for men because men want to have a lot of sex. So if they've got a sure way of not getting somebody pregnant, they're going for it. They're going to be, because men are dogs by nature. Yes, don't even Jack. All men are dogs by nature. Yes, yeah, we're all dogs. We can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll be, most of us will be dogs until you put us into the grave. It don't matter if they're gay; they're still dogs. Yes, they're just dogs for another man. That's all. It's so if they can have a way not to have sex, they're going to take the pill far more often than women are. And Germany found that it was too much between women and men taking it. Their birth rate was just plummeting. So they outlawed the pill for men. And,
wow, but keep criminalizing women, right? For
well, no, they said, look, we want y'all to have the choice, you know. But you know, because teen birth in the United States is way down. I mean, it's been going down for the last couple of decades, and because more and more of us understand, you know, how not to get pregnant. And even though they don't teach it, they don't really teach how not to get pregnant in school. They still people find out for themselves, and the internet is a sure way to learn things that you couldn't learn before. You can type on, you know, what can help me from getting pregnant, and there's lots of means for women, and there are a few coming out for men in the United States. But even the United States is a little scared now because our birth rate is already kind of bad. We're at like 1.65 or something. So we're already kind of almost to where as many people are dying that is being born. So we don't want to go into a negative population growth.
Yeah, it's like a 1-for-1. That's
like
really not
what
good.
Russia's happening to Russia right now.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. And there's just been a couple of countries that have tried this out that have determined that it works great. It works too great, and is what the problem is. It's just too good. It sucks because, you know, so then they said, well, maybe doctors should just stop subscribing birth control to women and just let men do it this way. And then, because if a man gets off the pill for like 3 months, then I think he can get the woman pregnant. So that means females would not have to take hormone shit anymore with birth control, which, you know, I know a lot of women would really not have to take birth control, especially if men could take it. So that would work out better that way. Men are going to take it more often, and then women are not going to have to take it. The only thing is, if the guy's lying, you're going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have a card. Look, you have to see my card. I'm taking my pill.
I mean, I bet there's a lot of men out there who want babies, who would lie and be like,
well, there are.
I can't.
There
I
are a
can't
lot
get anyone pregnant.
Guys, you know, some guys want to see how many babies. I mean, Elon's up to what, 12 or 14 now? I think 12.
Gross.
And they were talking about. We had looked it up the other day. Genghis Khan had 102 or something.
Yeah.
Some other guy had like 900 with some bunch of wives. I can't remember his name now. It was crazy because when I looked it up, I was like, "Who the hell?" I don't even know who the guy was. Never heard of him ever. So you
Gross.
know, but they
But
talk
a woman
about
does
Genghis
it,
Khan.
she's a whore. A woman does it, she's a slut. A woman does
The
it.
guy does it. He's a slut. He just doesn't care. Women actually care. Men don't. That's the real difference. Men don't care if you call them a slut. They know they're sluts. They know they're dogs. They're like, whatever. They're proud to hear that shit. They're like, you're calling me what? Oh, yeah. How many did you get this year? Oh, 25. Man, you know, 101 year. Wow. That's the way to go.
That's nasty.
I'm just saying, guys don't. That's how guys are. They don't care. I mean, there's some guys that are out there prudish and stuff, but for most time, guys are like, whatever.
I hate it. Like, I hate that this is what human nature is, and that this is the world I have to survive
but
in.
without those kinds of drives, like you said before, we wouldn't be here. So they have to be there.
We're just like the dogs sniffing each other's butts.
Both sexes have to have those drives, otherwise, nothing. You know, we would peter out.
Okay.
Good. Maybe that's what's best.
Carly, you know what?
Maybe.
You know, in the old days, that was fine. Nobody needed to ever take any kind of birth control, and people would have 10 and 12 and 14 kids, and that's because they had farms and properties and all what they needed all those kids.
Gas is $6 a gallon, and you can't buy a gallon of milk for under $5.
Yeah,
that's right. Feeding all those monsters, kids and all. The biggest family I knew was the Millers. They had 10 kids. Yes, that's enough. No, they were great. But they had it worked out and all. Yeah, they did a lot of clothes swapping, but they had the food worked out. They even had 2 people that lived there that helped them. So there's 14 people living in the house.
Yeah.
They were
One
good
of our
friends.
neighbors were Mormon. They had like at one point 10 kids, and then a couple more years later, like, up to 14, 12, whatever. But they had the best breakfasts. Every time we were over there for breakfast before school, the mom had the kitchen laid out. I mean, you had scratch-made pancakes or waffles, scratch-made scrambled eggs, fried over eggs, easy over eggs, whatever you wanted, they had it there ready to go. Bacon sauce. It was amazing. It was like an industrial, like, diner kitchen with food. I mean, it was like there was flour everywhere. It was a mess, but the food was so good.
What's that, Chris? You got. Oh, that you come from a family of 8. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
4. Wait, so 4 were older and 4 were younger. So that was like 4 of y'all that were like a year apart, and then they took a break for 8 years, and then there were 4 more that were a year apart. We see that means y'all just got to be slaves. That's all.
Yeah, my grandma had 11 kids, and she would have had 13, but there was a gap in between number 7 and I think after like the first 7 and the last 4, there was a gap. And for a couple of years, she had 2 miscarriages, basically. But if she would have had those 13 kids total, she would have had one for every month of the year and every year consecutively. She would have been pregnant whole time. Like, think about it. Like, that whole time she would have been pregnant, popping out babies for like 13 plus years. And I can't imagine having so many kids to take care of all at once. You have the older ones taking care of the younger ones at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Back then, that's the way it worked.
Yeah, it was weird for me. I was the only child till my sister was born, and when I was like 8 or 9, my demon hellion sister, who I still love, by the way, but she's like was a demon spawn. And then when I was I was 12, or I think I was 11 or 10, and I was laying in bed sleeping. I could hear Star Trek playing in the background, and the babysitter there, which was somebody from our family, and my mom had just got in, and they were talking about the twins. I'm like, what twins? And so there was a brother and sister of mine that were born a year after me that were twins that were put up for adoption. So I heard about him. Like I said, I was young then. I didn't hear about him again. I was in my 30s, and my mom called me and said, your brother wants to meet you. I'm like, my brother? What brother? And I said, what the hell brother are you talking about, Mom? I thought she met my brother Jay from my dad's first marriage because he's older. And she said, no, this is your adopted brother, was put up for adoption. He wants to meet you. So we got together and we hung out, and David's always had his stuff together. And then finally I met my adopted sister. She was so much, and her and my mom never did hit it off. My brother and her and my mom hit it off, but she never forgave my mom for putting her for adoption. She was my mom's Bobsy twin, same attitude, same build, same everything. I was like, so her and I were talking right now. I said, Jesus Christ, you're like talking to Pam. And she goes, why do you call her Pam? I said, well, I always call my grandparents mom and dad, and my dad, mom, Joe and Pam. She's like, why? I said, it's just because when I was young, I stayed more with him than I did with them. And I said, I almost was adopted just like you were. I mean, put up for adoption. So, and it was interesting meeting them, but I have not seen my other sister. Matter of fact, I ain't seen any of my sisters recently. I need to go see some of them. I haven't seen my the sister that went up for adoption in 20 years. My baby sister I seen a couple of years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. My big sister, who's actually a half sister, I haven't seen in a while. I need to go see her because her oldest son passed away. She's outlived 2 sons now. That really sucks. And well, no, my oldest son was a billionaire lawyer gay billionaire lawyer who's married and went to Germany, got his cancer cured, got his life back together, and just couldn't behave. He just couldn't stop with the partying. So eventually he had a stroke, and he was in France on his private yacht out in the Mediterranean. Yes, what a way to go. It's just the guy was so rich that for his 50th birthday, he rented the house to Hard Rock and flew to B-52s down for his birthday. Yeah.
Oh wow, that would have been cool.
So, he rented the whole Hard Rock, closed it for the whole night on Friday night, no less. And, that was not cheap. And then flew to B-52s. And they spent a couple of days with him, yeah.
That sounds like millions and millions of dollars.
He was rich. He was stinking getting rich is what he was. Greedy, but stinking
How
rich.
do you, how is that? I mean, I get it. There's lots of really rich people in this world, but.
Well, he was weird. He got, when he was in his intern year from Tulane Law School. He was working with this attorney on this this oil spill in Mississippi. It was an excellent oil spill in Mississippi, and big one. And he was working with him on that. And about a year into the case, just not too long before he was going to graduate, the guy had a heart attack, a stroke, and died. Well, Stewart was the only one that knew the case. No one else at the office knew the case, and it was drawing to an end. So they told him, "Well, look, if you finish the case, we'll give you," I think it was like $37 million. That was his first case.
Wow. And
then after that, he settled it too. And after that, he started getting high profile cases. Then he started doing environmental law, and he was making buku money off the environmental. He made a lot off the cigarette thing too, but he made a buku amount of money off environmental law. And between him and his boyfriend and his other partner in the company was probably worth about 1.2 billion, 1.3 billion. Wow. So they were loaded, and everything they owned was bought and paid for. They had a beautiful house down in the French Quarter. They had places around the world. They had a beautiful yacht with a helicopter parked in the Mediterranean. Just stayed there. They would come get him at the airport, fly him out there. They'd do whatever, go fly back and forth to wherever they were going.
Wow.
He said they had another boat that they could use to come off the yacht. But he said he didn't like being bounced.
To tender a helicopter, that had to have been at least a 200-foot yacht.
That's a big yacht. It's a big yacht. And I don't know who all got all of that or what they got. I don't know if the husband kept anything or if my sister got anything. I haven't even talked to my sister about it because it's nothing concerns me. It's not like I was getting anything from it. So,
did your sister and him have a relationship with each other?
That was his mom. Yeah, they always did. They were always bitching and fighting, but they always did. And because she was he was the oldest. And I remember when we were all young and we used to all go hang out at Tulane all the time. And Tulane's an Ivy League college, and we'd go hang out around there. We were slick. We'd be panhandling people, make friggin' $100 in a day out there hitting the students up for their money. These poor students ain't got no money to start off with. And we go partying, or we'd be car parking for events, making $200 a night parking events and stuff like that. That's a lot for Latina boppers back in the day. And my baby nephew, who's a full-grown engineer for GE now, he was really good at it. Man, he'd be getting people parked, get him in the right place, making all kind of little money. And Stewart was always, an ass. And him and his mom used to fight all the time, and that never changed. They fought all the time. But it's funny. He bought her a house, big beautiful house in the front, down in the city. Paid it all off, got all the stuff she needed for it, paid it all off, and told her that you have to maintain the house. I'm not maintaining your house, you maintain it. Because every night she'd call us up there to do something. So he was weird about things like that. And he never would give her cash. You could easily get, "Hey, Mom, here's $1 million, chill." So, but when she got hurt, she's an award-winning swimmer. She hurt herself doing something. Driving, got in an accident or something, and they used to fight all the time because she wanted to go back to swimming. And she's still alive. She's in her 80s, and just as mean as hell, man. I love her to death, but she's mean as hell. But my baby sister, she lives in Atlanta. She works for the I think the Marriott, and she thinks she's a bigwig up there. Well, she actually is, but it's family. Few people always have family, yeah. Mine's insanely crazy. So, oh yes, a whole bunch of them are crazy. No, yes, most of my friends are crazy too. Oh yes. I don't know why. It's just one of them things. I guess a crazy rubs off on crazy.
Yeah, like people like to hang out.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, y'all just sent me the new national poll. So the new national poll still has Trump up by 2 points, but there's 11% undecided. New Jersey, there is 19% undecided. Texas has 12% undecided. Georgia is 14%.
I'm undecided.
What's that, Frank? Well, see, undecided don't mean they're going to actually vote.
Yeah. Then I've always asked what would happen if you polled everyone who said undecided in a poll, if they actually voted or not. I'll bet you most of them didn't.
I don't know if I'm gonna, you guys. Like, what would that
Well, a
mean?
lot of people are not. I mean, a lot of people are not going to. A lot of Democrats are not going to vote for Joe Biden. Even they're just not going
Well,
to.
I wonder how many people
I
were
think
going
it's
to
all
vote, but now
sham.
aren't because of what happened last night.
I think it's all just a sham. I don't know. It's just I just don't trust any of it. I don't want to engage in it. I don't want to contribute to something that seems so corrupt.
They what's that, Marky? Well, I mean, it is corrupt in some ways, and it isn't corrupt. I mean, how corrupt is Trump? I'm sure he's got some corruption going on there. I'm not going to try to defend him, but he does seem to want to see our country succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he speaks about it, he seems pretty genuinely passionate.
So the 538 top 5 major polls have Trump winning by 2 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. Actually, Biden's not ahead on any of these polls. Guys, I mean, he wasn't ahead before this, Frank. I mean, whatever smart ass comment before that. Every now and then you'd see like a very hardcore liberal poll like Forbes or Bloomberg or something like that. He'd be up by a point or two. Every now and then MSNBC would have him up by a point. But there's anybody conservative or independent even goes to those things. They're completely liberal, and they're still polling that bad.
Well,
So a liberal poll. We'll go and get out of here because we're out of here in 4 minutes. So behave yourself.
Good night.
Don't let the aliens probe you or anything.
I wish they would just take me and keep me wherever they're. I don't want to come back.
No, it's more fun watching you squirm.
No, why do you want to torture me?
That's just their way, you know. They like, hey, put you under the glass jar. It's like watching the ants go through the ant farm. You know?
I can't do it anymore.
Just next time, tell them, hey, give me a break. I need a vacation.
No, I want to be done.
Tell them take you to Alpha Centauri where they got 5 moons and everything's bubbly and smells good and floats around and
that's how my life is supposed to be.
Or ask them to rig it so you win the lottery for a good chunk of change.
Right, that's the only way that I'm gonna make it. I think that's the only way.
Well, I'd like to win a lottery so I could use the money. What's that, Kristen? No, we're out of here in like 3 minutes. Why? What you got for us? Biden is losing currently right now across the board. So let me express something before we get into this. So Mitt Romney was beating Obama in his second term by 6 points. Easily it was going to roll in to be the next president of the United States. And guess what? Hurricane Sandy came along and boom, him and Governor Fatboy Krispy Kreme got together. Obama and Fatboy Krispy Kreme got together and were hanging out. And he was talking about how good he came in and saved New York and saved New Jersey and all of this stuff. And all of a sudden it flipped. And then Obama was in the front and won the election. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful, people. We only got 4 months, so we'll see what happens. I'd like to see Trump leading by a few more points, though, because, you know.
Yeah, just pad the lead.
Yeah. Well, he didn't say that he expected to see cheating this time. He just didn't want to say I won't commit 100% until I know for sure that I lost. Well, he still thinks it was cheating in the last election. And you know what? A lot of America does. I think last time I seen a poll, 40% of America thinks it was cheating in the last election. All I can say is it doesn't matter to me whether it was cheating or not. I say the same thing I always say. If Trump knew there was cheating, he should have been making sure it didn't happen.
Well, to your point on that, you said he should have had representatives at all the voting polls. He said that he's going to have people everywhere.
And he needs to. He needs to have people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, y'all can volunteer for this. Go watch them sneaky damn Democrats. Watch them people taking that stuff out to the machines. Pay attention. Look, where you from, Pennsylvania? Fetterman's an ass. I don't know what to tell you. Did you vote for him? You voted for him, huh?
I didn't.
Fetterman's an ass. Well, look, I got to be honest about this, though. I hate to say this aloud. I actually preferred Fetterman over Oz.
Yeah.
Well, some of that Oz was kind of sleazy. I mean, he's a nice guy and all, but there's just something about the guy. Plus, he had just moved to New Jersey to run against Fetterman, where he thought it was going to be an easy win. Oh, let me run against a guy in the hoodie saying the F word all the time. You know, you can get away saying with that in those neighborhoods.
But he didn't move to New Jersey. He moved to Pennsylvania.
I mean, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, New Jersey. You got New Jersey in the brain. I think you're going to see some blue states flip this time. Yeah. You might even see New York flip. Or it's going to be damn close if it don't flip. Oh, yeah.
It's looking like Pennsylvania's flipping.
So I hope it flips, and I hope they get rid of that crazy bitch, Governor Hochul. I always want to call her Hocus Pocus. Well, I mean, she pulled some shit and got rid of Comey. He hasn't been able to make a comeback yet. Well, somebody said it was part of his deal that he couldn't get back in politics. I don't know if that's true or not. Yes. Well, we got to go. Who? Yeah, Kennedy's the third party guy. There's 4 or 5 candidates actually. I think there's 5. And but I don't know if everybody's in the ballots. I think Kennedy and Trump and Biden are all the ballots, but well, no, that was bullshit, cheesy shit that Colorado pulled. Oh, we'll just throw him off the ballot. And then all of a sudden, they realized that there were just more Republican states than blue states, and if they started throwing them off all the things, they weren't going to win. Yeah. Well, that shit hurts. Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna go. Hope everybody enjoyed the debate at least and had some fun watching it, and thought things were a little crazy and stuff like that. I watched it today, so you know. Who me? I'm going to eat something. Yeah, I'm starving. Every time I do this damn show, I'm starving. It's and I've been losing weight, so it's good for me to sneak some snacks in.
Yeah, I think I have been too. My pants are falling down at work, even with the belt on. So
that's all that damn heat is what it is.
Yeah, probably that too. But
no, I like Louisiana's senators and House reps. They're really good people. They're a lot of fun to listen to. During COVID, I used to go to their COVID things where they had a bunch of them and talk to them. I wish they'd do more of that. I could talk to them more often. Louisiana, Mississippi, I don't really know, and I live in Mississippi, so yeah, I miss Mississippi. That's what I call it, Mississippi. It's not a bad state. I mean, it is. Don't. Okay, if you want to move Mississippi, be sure you move in the very southern part very southern part. No more than 10 or 20 miles above interstate and to the coast. Don't move any higher than that. It gets a little hanky. One, country towns are not going to welcome you. They're going to be like, what are you doing here? And who the hell are you?
You ain't from around here.
They barely can tolerate y'all coming in as tourists. It pisses them off. Oh, yeah. No. They don't like that. Jackson is 92% black with one of the highest crime rates in the United States. So stay the hell out of there. Not because it's black, because of the crime rate. Well, we went up there for BLM meeting. We went to Hattiesburg and to Jackson for BLM meetings, and no black people showed up at either one. Even though Jackson is 92% black, no one showed up. They were scared of them big old crackers that showed up. Yeah. So a bunch of white people showed up, holding BLM. Yeah, they look like crackers to me, like the kind that burn crosses in your yards. Yeah, so it made them nervous, I think. Now, you see a bunch of big country Mississippi boys, 6'3", 6'4", hanging all out of their clothes and shit. You never know what might happen there, man. You gotta be careful. They might be out there baiting you or something. No, but these people all look pretty legit. Well, I stop and talk to them. I do press for BLM every once in a while. Oh, in New Orleans, though, when I go to New Orleans, I'm usually the only white person around, so they're always giving me shit. No, well, I know the leader out there, so he keeps me safe. But oh yeah, I was on the car one time filming, and these 2 guys come up and start giving me all kind of shit. What you doing out here, white boy? You shouldn't be here, white boy. This isn't for you, white boy. Blah blah this. I said, man, you better stop with that racistness. I said, this is filming live and going out live, and you're just making yourself and everybody around here look like racist. I said, that's not going to bode well for you. And then Jimmy come over, or James came over. He goes, what are y'all doing? He's here for you, you dumbasses, to help spread the word. What are you doing? Why are you threatening the man? He said, this is what's wrong with you people. He said, you don't understand. We're all here. Yeah, because he's the black leader for BLM for the area. And he was just trying, him and I go way back. And he's like, I don't know, Joe. He says it's hard. And he said these kids just want to get all caught up at it, and they want to start screaming this, screaming that, and don't realize they come off sounding racist. Nobody gets on their side then, you know.
It's mob mentality.
And did I feel like no, I didn't feel like it was good. I had my gun on me anyway, so. Oh, I had one guy in where were we in DC actually threatened me, and as he did, I kicked my shoulder over and pushed my jacket up, and I said, "Be nice," and he just seen it and walked off. Martha's a big old cannon. You don't want to piss Martha off; she will kill you dead. And right now, she got razor hollow points in her, so just leave her alone. And when she warns you ahead of time, she shows you her big pretty ass, and then when you're bad, she pow. She's not even that loud either. Really, it's a target pistol, so she's really accurate. Yes. I don't want to kill anybody. Why would I kill anybody? I did enough of that when I was a spy. I mean, come on. Oh, did I say that out loud? Shit. Now they're going to kill everybody who was listening now. Except for Jay. He's okay because his family had clearance. But the rest of y'all are going to die. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Damn. We're going to have to start a whole new audience now. Well, shit. And on that note, we got to go, guys. You guys want to thank everyone for listening to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Jay was with us tonight from that crazy ass show that Jeffrey Pritchard hosts. Church of Mavis. Yes, Church is a good show. No, it's a good show. And you wouldn't be in front of us if it wasn't. Mm-hmm. No, and then Leah just comes in and hangs out with us on Fridays and Wednesdays. The other Sean wasn't here tonight. I don't know where he was. And then Sean does Into the Night on Sunday and Tuesdays.
Sundays and Tuesdays.
Yes, you can catch him there. I'm here on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Yes. Wednesdays I do UFO Undercover when I get home one time. Friday night, of course, is News on the Flip Side. And, of course, Saturday is the Arthur's Quill. So if you know any good authors, yeah. What was that?
If you want to, you can have Joe on your TV Monday through Sunday if you go to Roku. You can watch archives.
Matter of fact, we're getting ready to put up all new archives this weekend, so go check it out and enjoy it, have some fun. Danelle, thanks for that. And oh yes, don't forget, go make a donation at United Public Radio, www.uprontalkradio.com. Bam, bam, bam. Go right on page, make a donation. Yes, station ain't cheap. My man just said she'd like to get a check every once in a while. Yeah, I know. That's Michelle DeRoche. Oh, on that note, by the way, any moans, bones, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle, courtesy Michelle DeRoche at the Outer Realm. Yes, she don't mind. Just write to her. I said Joey said to write to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, really. If you got any moans, gripes, or bitches, that's who you write to. You mean about me? Yeah, you can write to her about that. I'll just be like, Michelle, so what? She'll be like, Joe. I'll be like, so what? Well, I own the place, sweetie. Yes, I actually own the place. Yes, so you can only get on to me so much. Yes. I can be rude and crude. I was tonight. I apologize. That crack about the weenie. I'm sorry. Damn, I'm sorry. The crack about the weenie was a little over the top. I know, but I can be rude and crude. As a matter of fact, I've been telling this to everybody, all my friends, my fellow hosts, even other people I know have been telling me the same thing. You need to go back to being mean. You need to go back to being mean. I'm like, okay, just remember y'all all said that in a couple of weeks, couple of months. Well, if you go back and listen to Wake Up USA episodes and early UFO Undercover episodes, you'll know what they're talking about. Yes. Oh, yes. I was very confrontational. Well, there's no reason to be right now. It's not like I can fly up to Joe Biden and say, oh, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get on my private helicopter and fly out there. They'd shoot me down anyway. Yeah, so no, we do what we can. And we know that certain people listen to the shows because we hear quotes of ours on different networks. So it's always interesting. Yeah. And then we do try to get certain people to come on. The one I want is Elon Musk, people. Some of y'all got to know Elon. Yes, I want to talk to Elon. I want to talk to him about several different things, actually. You mean Tesla? I could give a shit about Tesla. I want to talk to him about Mars, SpaceX, Starship, Earthlink. Think about this, guys. NASA's been flying rockets for I don't know how long, since the 60s. Never one time could they talk to their rocket while going through the heated system. Guess what? Because of Starlink, they could talk to the damn rocket all the way down. How you like that? Not just talk to it, but have video on it. I know. Isn't that some shit? There's no more guessing where it's at. They know where it's at. Yeah, I know. We watched the whole thing. I watched the fin almost burn off of the last one that they laid down in the water, and it still landed. It was badass. Well, so he confessed on why they're landing them in the ocean. So with the new Starship, they have to do a flip over where it's riding on its belly like this. And if it blows up coming down into like a place landing at like NASA or Texas, if it hits the ground, it's going to do all kind of freaking damage. So not so much to the craft because it's going to be disintegrated, but everything around where it hit.
Right.
So no, they're just putting it down in the ocean until they get this down to a science. That's what's going to happen to them. They're not even recovering them now. There's nothing to recover. Yeah, standard stuff. All right, well, we got to go. Thanks everyone again for listening to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. Hope all y'all have a good weekend. We'll see y'all in a couple of days, and we'll see you the day before the 4th on UF on the Cover. Have some good time. Be safe. Don't blow shit up, people. Really. I mean, everybody listening here.
Gun safe on the 4th.
That's right. Put your gun away. Don't go shooting it in the air. So, in case y'all didn't notice, you dummies, when you shoot bullets up, eventually they got to come back down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and especially if you're in a crowd, you don't know where they're going to come back down at. Yes, I'm just saying, pay attention. Yeah, they can arc, but you still don't know where they're coming down. They're still coming down somewhere.
Yep.
Through somebody's roof, through somebody's head. No, stop it. No gun shooting.
Necessarily kill somebody, but it will mess their day up.
That's right. Don't shoot them in the air. Go shoot somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean shooting them in the dirt? That's fine as long as it's not in a place like a city or something.
Or shoot them into a proper target backing that won't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you can do that. That'll work. I mean, go buy some fireworks. They're louder than a damn gun anyway. My gun hardly makes any noise at all.
And it's the same technology. It has the same smell.
Yeah. Go enjoy yourself. But anyway, go enjoy the damn holiday. Have some fun. I was watching them. I was at a grocery store today. They were rolling out of there with baskets of beer.
Yeah.
I mean, baskets full, cases, and like 5-6 cases in each basket, rolling out 2 baskets at a time. People are planning on having a good time this 4th of July. And the conservatives will be celebrating their ass off because of Uncle Cracker Joe from last night. Anyway, we got to go. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see y'all all on Wednesday. Oh, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I forgot. On the Author's Quill. Yes, John Goodwin will be hanging out with me tomorrow. We'll be causing some just general trouble because people are bad. Good night, everybody. Idiots. You are weird people.